Boom. Good. I was about to say good night. Good evening. Good evening, everyone. We're at episode 10, double digits. Anniversary. Should have had a party.
Should have got balloons.
Absolutely.
That's what you meant by the hard Coke Zero?
That's when I said hard Coke Zero. That's me partying.
He's a wild child.
I gave out to Jimmy before, or so I gave it to one of you before for if you have the stream on in the background, make sure you have it muted. And I just had it playing there and I could hear myself.
Yeah.
Let's do a quick hello to a couple people in the chat. Kulchi, I don't know what time you're in from at today. I didn't get to check, but you're probably in from at 2 o'clock. Strider, are you early? I don't know. I didn't check. Usually I check to see who's in early. We got Phantom Pulls. What's going on? We got my wife, as expected. Thank you. Appreciate it. Kulchi. Oh, someone hurt themselves. Who's in a sling? Kulchi. Hurt himself. He's in a sling. You're going to fracture. Sorry to hear you're in a sling, Kulchi. I don't know.
Opening packs too hard.
Opening packs too hard. You have to take a break from TCGs for a while.
I can play multi UPCs.
Yeah, too many. The opening UPCs are very heavy. Don't. We got Migs in. Evan, how are you? What's going on? We'll give it another minute before we do the intro that I still haven't written. That I've every time I finish it, I need to write an actual do a proper intro.
It was a jingle, I think, wasn't it? Yeah.
I'm working on a jingle. Who else is in? We got Darren White in. Good to see you, Darren. How are you? Yeah, I do. Because every time I'm like, right, we're going to start the thing. I'm going to introduce our guest, ourselves, whatever. And on my head, I'm like, I don't know what I'm saying. And I just, the first 9 episodes I've just completely made up on the spot. The only one I did do something for was I thought of a funny pun for jumping jack. I said something like, or we'll jump straight in, or something silly like that.
Yeah.
But other than that, I'm just like, I have to waffle this one as well. So give me about 30 seconds and I'll waffle this intro and then we'll jump in. Who else is in? Danny Tag, how are you? Good to see you. Danny, you ran the Antrim card show today. I didn't get to see much of posts of what was going on, but from what I did see, looked like it was a big success, so fair play on that. I wanted to get going, but I was working and the time booked off already for other things, so but fair play. All right, if we can get then one quick, if someone can let us know if we're good on audio and visuals. James is laughing because for the entire 30 minutes before, he was trying to fix his audio.
We don't talk about episode 9 either.
Yes, Danny, absolutely. Are you planning a second one this year, Danny, or you're doing it like a monthly or bi-monthly thing? Is that you? Did I see that right? Let me know anyway, because I do want to catch one at one point. Every card show I have planned so far is in the Republic, although Adam's here, so I'll be trying to get.
Yeah.
You're in.
I haven't even put out vendors yet for mine. I have all the applications in, but I haven't even sent out emails being like, "Yep, you can come, guys."
Is yours not in March?
It is, yeah.
It is, yeah. I know you said you were relaxed, but
I honestly see the last one was so bad. I was like, these guys are probably worrying. I haven't even sent out because I've already set up, and it's first day of the shoot in 2 days time. Do that this week, shouldn't we?
I'll be standing at the carriage show and there'll be no vendors there, just Adam.
yeah.
Everyone just shows up.
Bring your own table.
We're all here in this date, right?
All right, Danny Tag. It's a monthly club. Okay, 7th of February. Can't do. I have Mega Fan the next day.
Oh yeah.
In Dublin. But if it's monthly, then I'm gonna get to one. We got Mitchy Games in. James, I think I hate to say it again, but you're.
No, it's not doing it again, is it?
Yeah, it is doing it again.
No, it's not. It can't.
It is.
No. Is it bad? Can you survive with it?
Right. Let's put it this way. Can anybody in the chat hear the background noise? Maybe it's not going through the stream. Maybe it's just being heard on my side. Can someone in the chat let us know if there's like a weird feed noise or a background noise when I talk? Kick him out.
Kick him out.
Don't know why I hired him in the first place.
Honest to God. Bring back Ron.
Bring back Ron. Ron's on romantic duties tonight.
That's it.
Ron did say hello to everybody, and he sends his love. But he is on. I don't know if he said romantic or house cleaning, one or the other. Yep, my wife can hear him.
Okay.
Sounds like a heart rate monitor, but the others are bad audio.
Okay.
That's whatever you did. No, it's still there.
Touch the screen. Let's see.
So your actual headset, if you can turn that down, like from what you can hear of us.
I can just hear you guys, yeah. I can't
But
hear
I mean,
it.
if you turn that volume down for yourself.
Oh yeah, that it controls everything, like, so I won't hear you then.
But can you turn it down?
Yeah, like I can't hear you guys then. Yeah.
All right, never mind then. Look, we'll just deal with it. Just deal with it.
We'll just. I feel the pain in your eyes, Dean. I'll sort it next week.
It's good. It's not the worst.
Cards you do to hold it up so he doesn't.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Like mime it out.
I'll try not to. I'll cover the mic every time I'm talking.
Well, we're good. We're good. Look, this is it when we go live. If anything is desperate, someone in the chat let us know.
Yeah.
I'll try talk less. All right.
No, don't do that.
My mod Carly is in the chat. It's good to see you doing your part-time job.
Hey, Carly.
Right. We'll do an intro.
Link to the Discord, yeah.
Link to the Discord. Right. We'll do the intro. Episode 10. We just hit double digits. That's why, as I said, I'm drinking hardcore Coke Zero. We're celebrating. So obviously we got co-host Jimmy from Kellyog's Cards with the bad audio. Sorry, last one.
As always.
Last one. And then our guest for episode number 10, we have Adam from Northern Card Gaming. I don't want to say officially, but I think the biggest TCG store on the island. That's my guess.
I don't know, actually. That's a good question.
I go with that.
That I know of.
Yeah.
There's a lot of big stores down south. Like,
You've got two buildings. You've got two separate shops. So I'm going to say
Definitely the biggest single store. Anyway.
I'm going to say the biggest TCG store on the island. The store's been around since before I was even collecting, and I was collecting since 2022. Crown Zenith, Silver Tempest Lost Origin, and you were, I think, well established at that point.
Yeah, I think we started 2019. It was just before COVID, essentially. It was kind of just off the back of coming out of uni, and parents were saying, "Go get a real job," and I was saying, "No, I sell trading card games for the rest of my life." Then telling me, "Be realistic," and I was like, "I am realistic," and here we are. They hit their words, and I'm broke and run a trading card shop. So, kind of. But no, we set up in 2019. So we actually didn't start as a shop at all. In around that sort of time, Belfast didn't really have any shops. So we actually started off by running locals out of a university up in Queens. So there was a free space. We went up there. We ran Yu-Gi-Oh! Locals every week. I was very lucky and very fortunate that ended up allowing us to access a distributor all the way back then, to buy the packs, to run pre-releases and locals and OTS packs. And then Konami got really mean and stopped letting run OTS stuff, and distribution sort of stopped people who didn't have businesses running and coming in and buying stuff. So it all started off in a university, Students' Union building essentially, and then we moved into a self-storage facility. So we rented out a space upstairs in that building, and there was just 2 rooms at the start. And then eventually we outgrew that space and we grew into the hall, and then we had boxes all the way down the stairs and into the other hall. And the guy was like, you need to rent more room from us or leave. And I was like, yeah, okay, that's fair. So that was a great experience as well. We used to have locals in the warehouse, so we could never put out social media pictures because it was just us in this big massive warehouse with like people's pallets of delivery to go out on Monday. Was everyone sort of like playing card games in and around all these pallets? It was so bad, and the gates locked at like 3 o'clock. So if someone arrived late, you had to go out to the gate, unlock the gate. They drove their car in, and then you have to lock the gate behind you. So it was an experience. And then I think we moved over to Newton Ards in 2020, and we've been there ever since. So
I was just going to ask. So when I started buying off you in early 2023, was I buying it from a sketchy warehouse?
Oh, you were 100%. In 2023, we were in the good shop. We opened with absolutely nothing, and see, looking back on it, I look back. I actually have some of the pictures on our socials, because I think this is the 5-year anniversary of being there. And whenever we opened, I had no right opening a shop. It looked horrendous. Like, we had enough stock to fill the middle section. I didn't have enough stuff, so at the back I put a sofa, which I stole from a granny's house, a table with like some video games consoles on it, just to take up the space. We didn't have stock to put anywhere. And then I was like, you know what? Northern Ireland doesn't have locals that are above 100 people. What if I just put in seating for 100 people to make it look like it could be full? And we just had seats everywhere, just seating everywhere until we got stock. It was so bad looking back at it.
Living the dream, huh?
You got to do it.
Right, I wanna jump back to maybe just before the shop, and see if we can get to learn a bit of backstory. Just before we jump in, just to let the chat know, as always, if you have any questions, we'll try get to them, but keep all your questions at the end. We'll have a designated time at the end. So yeah, if you do pop a question, I don't catch it, just come back to us at the end. Adam, what can you give us a bit of you don't have to give us a whole life story, but a bit of like before the shop. Were you a collector? I mean, it sounds like you were, but like, were you collecting your whole life? What was the kind of the lead up to the shop?
Yeah, so like, I, like many people, I'm 31, so I grew up watching like Yu-Gi-Oh and stuff on TV. I played Pokemon video games since I was like able to walk. Essentially, I still remember going to like my local game, getting Pokemon Yellow, and then never looking up ever again. My mom telling me off for like looking at my Game Boy as I'm walking through the shopping center. And I was like, Adam, how can you tell where you're going? And just, you just felt that peripheral vision that you can always see up, even if your head's down like this. So from a young age, played all that. And then I played Yu-Gi-Oh for years and years and years. And then I went to secondary school. Obviously, card games weren't very cool in secondary school. I went to an all-boys school, so it was really not cool. And so I stopped sort of playing card games, and then sort of around about 16, I started playing card games a lot. And I got a job, so I had disposable income. And as a teenager with disposable income who used to really like playing card games, to stop playing card games, it's never a good start. So yeah, I played Yu-Gi-Oh very competitively for a number of years. I played Magic, I played Pokemon. I know how to play quite a lot of the card games. Yu-Gi-Oh was sort of the main one that I would have played. I would have went to like YCSs. I've met some of my best friends playing card games. So it's honestly been a hell of a time. It's also how NCG started. It was actually a Yu-Gi-Oh card team, and it was never a shop to begin with. So back in the day, as I said, teenagers, we all have no money, and students, we have no money. So Card Market used to do this amazing thing where they would give you credit every time you played an event, and they would also pay for you to have a nice special jersey with their logo on it and then your logo on it. So as a group of friends, you get together, you email Card Market, and you're like, hey guys, we want to form a playing team. Would you sponsor our team? And they'd say, yeah, you can get 25 euros every time one of you tops an event, or so on and so forth. And then you contacted Ultimate Card, and Ultimate Card used to send us like these big care packages of free sleeves and deck boxes. So it was fantastic. We just got free stuff and we got to play. So we had more money for the actual cards, and we didn't have to buy the accessories anymore. So it was a great time. But yeah, like a lot of my best friends I've met through playing the card games, and we've got through some incredible places. Like we've done most of Europe from going to YCSs, and yeah, it's been a hell of a time.
Yeah, well, I can see where you stayed at then. So Card Market were sponsoring you in a way, right?
Yeah. So that's, again, we weren't a shop initially. It was set up by a guy called Chris Campbell many years ago. Chris was a big Yu-Gi-Oh guy, and there was actually guys from down south that were very popular Yu-Gi-Oh players and very good Yu-Gi-Oh players back in the day. Were also part of the team. And again, it was just a bunch of guys who enjoyed playing card games that didn't want to pay for stuff, came together to find a way to make money. We're very good at that type of thing. So that's what we did. We got free credit from Card Market. You went to an event, you got your free credit, and then you used your credit to buy booster boxes. Fantastic. Yeah.
Card Market, if you're watching, I do a
It was incredible.
podcast. That's crazy. And then, so at the time when you had the Yu-Gi-Oh team and you had that sponsorship going on with Card Market, at those times, was there any idea of a shop?
No. So yeah, I've kind of like, I'll be honest with you, like the shop was never something that was sort of planned. Again, I'm sort of lucky in that I sort of stumbled into everything in a really like blunderous way. It just worked out. So like whenever like people fall down gracefully and stuff, I was kind of like smashing my face off walls back and forth. So basically, my background is I went to university, I did psychology, and then I did a master's in clinical psychology, and then I did another master's in counseling and therapeutic communication. So my first ever step at uni was I just bought and sold cards. I didn't have a job while I was at uni. I was a domiciliary carer for a lot of my younger life. So going out, cleaning backsides in the community, and some really difficult work, to be honest, as well. Like domiciliary carers get it pretty hard. So yeah. And my mom was my manager as well. So, you're sitting there trying to do your GCSEs and mom's like, nope, you're working 40 hours this week, son. Get out there and do your job. Okay then. But yeah, so I went from that. And then the first ever time I started buying and selling cards, I bought a very large collection of Yu-Gi-Oh! It was about, for me at the time, it was massive. It was like £1,000 of cards. And I was like, I can make a real good profit margin off this. This is great. So I brought them home, big, large Tesco carrier bags. And my dad turned around. I was like, what the hell is that? And I was like, it's cards, I'm going to sell them. He's like, get them out of my house by tomorrow or I'm putting them in the bin. I was like, oh, shit. So I had to like phone around all my friends who also like maybe sold on eBay locally. And I thankfully found someone. I was like, hey, bud, I need to get rid of this stuff. Can you give me like 1,500 quid for it? There's loads of value there. You'll make loads on it. Absolutely great deal. And I'm sitting there pulling out some of the better stuff for myself as well before sending pictures of it so I can flip it. And yeah, that's sort of how I started buying and selling singles. So that's how NCG started. It was basically buying and selling individual Yu-Gi-Oh cards. And that's all we did exclusively for 2 or 3 years was Yu-Gi-Oh singles. We got very lucky. We got to like fend Irish nationals, and we got to fend UK nationals as well. So those events were just a next level. It really helped springboard us on.
And was it just Yu-Gi-Oh at the time?
Yeah, I didn't touch Pokemon until we moved to the new shop, basically. So within 6 months of moving to the new shop is whenever we started selling Pokemon and other card games. So we were exclusively Yu-Gi-Oh for product sales until about 2020. And then we also had a wee bit of Vanguard as well, because there's a couple of guys who play Card Fight Vanguard came down to the shop, and we were able to get some stuff for them and run pre-releases and stuff for them.
And because I did collect and play Yu-Gi-Oh when I was a kid, but I'm curious, like vending with just Yu-Gi-Oh, what did that even? Because I've when I think of like value and sales and stuff, obviously right now Pokemon is the place, or One Piece, and Yu-Gi-Oh to me I've always seen it as it's a player's thing.
Yeah.
So what kind of difference? Like what kind of differences did you see between Yu-Gi-Oh
massive,
and Pokemon?
Massive. So Yu-Gi-Oh back then did have a collector's community as such. So the collector community in Yu-Gi-Oh was sort of things like super rares from tournament packs, ultimate rares, ghost rares, because those cards didn't really get reprinted. That's where the value was sort of held in these special higher rarity versions of the cards that you would play in every deck. Yu-Gi-Oh had obviously ban lists. Back years ago, Konami were very good. They'd say the ban list is coming on this date. So it was quite interesting because around that time you knew that the ban list was coming. So everyone just dumped everything because the good stuff's gone. Like it's going to be worthless in a few days. So just get rid of it. We just had huge, massive market dumps. The buy-in percentage for Yu-Gi-Oh was a lot more volatile. So people would sell cards at 50%, people would sell cards at 30%. You would never, in Yu-Gi-Oh, you would never have got 70, 80, 90% of value of cards, not once. I don't know if that was just down to an acceptance of this is a playing card game, so the cards that you're selling, you need someone to buy them. And if a format is cycling out or those cards might not be as good next format, the person isn't maybe going to sell them. It was a weird one. It was, but like the value of Yu-Gi-Oh cards was also quite low. So for example, you have a 40 card deck, you can play a maximum 3 copies of each card in your deck. So an easy example was back then, or even recent history, Ash Blossom and Joy Spring. It was like a £5 common card, so you buy them off people for like £1.50. You'd sell them on eBay and you'd make like 155. I think it was like 361 plus fees on eBay, so it wasn't too bad. But back then as well, you had to have 2 separate PayPals. So PayPal back in those days, you could have a microtransactions account for eBay and then a macro transaction. So everything under 10%, it was like 5p instead of the 30p fee that they charge.
Right.
And then eBay were like, we're really greedy and we're going to handle all the things ourselves. So that just evaporated, unfortunately. It was a completely different ball game. Stuff didn't sell anywhere near as fast as what Pokemon does.
Yeah, I'd imagine so. Because I always would have associated with playability. Sorry, just a quick thank you to Evan in the chat for the 5 gifted memberships. I appreciate that. But yeah, I can imagine it was drastically different from what people see from vendors today in general, and how different it was. How did that lead then to? I assume it was the vending that led to the shop then.
2 seconds, my headphones are acting up a wee bit.
Yeah, no worries.
There we go. What was that, sorry?
Yeah. So then, I assume it was the vending that led on to the shop then.
Yeah. So again, I was working with a great company called Autism Initiatives, which was a organization that allowed people who were neurodiverse to have independence and live on their own. So you go in and support them. And at that time, I was still buying and selling individual cards. And my dad said, "Look at him. You know, you've been pussyfooting around this way too long. You either got to do it properly or stop." And that's whenever, he was like, "Right, look, there's this unit that's across the road in the warehouse. Would that do you?" And before we took it on, it was a candle maker. They literally were making candles in this unit. So I didn't have a look at it. It was like, "Dad, this is a shithole. Like, I don't want to work here. I'm gonna have a shop in this." So yeah, and then we did it. We just did it. It's one of those things that if you sit about and think about it too much, you won't do something. You always find a way to talk yourself out of it.
Yeah.
And ever since then, it's been very much let's just do it before we can talk ourselves out of it. Like, we'll figure out all the stuff after. Just get it
done.
Yeah, very much so. So like, what we did then was, okay, yeah, we'll take it. I was very, very lucky. I'll be honest with you. I've always been very lucky in terms of the spaces that we've been given. We have been able to get good space for quite an affordable price, and that's been a huge motivator, like a huge factor in us being able to scale. So that unit was like £400 a month, including VAT, and it was literally 2 decent sized rooms. You could fit 16 people in for the play, and then we took the rest of the hall, and it was only like £600 a month. So we were all of a sudden having access to this space that we could sell stuff. We could seat like 32 people down in the warehouse. So we just were able to sort of catapult on from there. And then eventually it did get to the point where I was doing it part-time, when my dad just said, "Right, you have to quit your job. If you're going to do this, do it seriously." So I quit my job. And it was a difficult one. I'll be honest with you. Like, there was days where I had to borrow money from friends. I had to borrow money from mom and dad. I had to borrow money from my partner at the time because I was almost bankrupt. There would be days that like an invoice would come in and you'd like look at your bank balance and you're sitting saying like, "That's enough to eat dinner." I have a £500 invoice. And you sort of have to be like, "Right, how does this work?" So it was definitely a difficult one to navigate, but it's exciting. It's a challenge. It was something fresh and something new, and that's sort of what we sort of always thrived off. But there's definitely been a lot of luck. We sort of got very, very fortunate in that we were just in before COVID, and COVID just made everything go nuts online. Yeah. We were primarily an online business, and then now we've become a physical store rather than an online store.
And then so when you moved into the warehouse and you were like, "Yeah, we're gonna do this now," like what were you doing, like in terms of stock? Did you know what you were going to be selling? Did you know what you were going to be doing? Events, things like that?
Yeah, so like we were always events. We've always run events. The sort of theory was always, card games are great because you get to bring people together. Like it doesn't matter what game you're playing, you're going to see your mates. Like you could be playing My Little Pony TCG for all anyone cares. And you're going there to see your buddies and have a good time and have a laugh, and then you're going to bitch about how you got like someone like top decked or beat you because they drew exactly what they needed. You'll not mention any of your misplays because that doesn't happen. You always play perfectly, um, and you're just there to have a good time and have a laugh with your buddies. So events was always a primary focus, because it's also a good way for store owners to interact with their customer base. Because back in those days, there weren't really card shows as such. There wasn't enough demand for that type of thing. So it was, how do we get people into a space to enjoy these games and the stuff together? And events was it. But at that time, we only sold Yu-Gi-Oh, and then we had guys coming in and playing some Dragon Ball card games, and then I started selling paints, Warhammer,
Yeah.
which was a terrible decision at the time. So this never again. I don't have any credit cards for that exact reason. So back then, um, I was like, right, let's get a Warhammer rack. Phoned them up and like, yep, sure, get it on credit. I was like, fantastic, sounds good. Took the Warhammer rack out. It was like £2,000. Sat there, sold none of it. Then they called me, like, hey, can we have our money? Like, nope. See you never. But they wouldn't take the stock back. So then, funny enough, I had to eat my words and like go back and apologize for my tail between my legs once we moved into the bigger shop. I was like, hi, the way I messed up? Can I have an account with you, please? And they're like, yeah, if you give us the $2,000 from last time, as well as another $2,000 from this time, that's perfect. So, yeah, that was a hell of a learning experience. So yeah, don't do credit. Never ever sort of like try to grow a business outside your means. Um, it's a good way to get yourself in trouble and close down your business for forever. Like, but at that time, my vision was very much used to be like an Amazon, but for hobby. So much focus is on online shopping now, and like if you can't get it in a store or everything isn't in the store, then you're just not going to bother going. You're just going to buy it online and be done. I was very lucky. Like I went to uni over in mainland UK, and some of the stores over there were incredible. They were bright, they were nice and lit, they had everything, and that sort of was a huge inspiration for opening up our store. Yeah, exactly. Like this, yeah, it was fantastic. So Yu-Gi-Oh! I was a judge since I was like 16, 17. So Yu-Gi-Oh! Judging was horrendous. It was the easiest thing to do. So there used to be an online judge test for Yu-Gi-Oh! So on one screen, you'd have pulled up the judge test, and then on another screen, all the answers were on a Reddit forum. So you just like copy paste the answers over. So anyone could have done it. It was the worst thing ever. And then eventually they sort of caught on to it and they changed the rules. It was so funny. Um, OTS packs were cool. Yeah, they are. But yeah, no, Yu-Gi-Oh was a good time. Like the judging is also another great part of it. Like and as you said, it was getting out, getting with friends. Like, we still have this running tradition. It's been ongoing now since I played back at a shop in Belfast called the Stack. So every single Saturday after locals, regardless of what's going on, we used to all go out for dinner. And like there used to be like 12, 16 of us all going out for like food. And now that's just turned into Saturday chicken, is what we call it. We all go to Nando's after locals every week after the shop closes. It got so bad that about 2 years ago, a year ago, a couple of guys used to come into our shop to play Magic that worked there. And they're like, you guys come here a lot, and then start giving us friends and family discounts. So we used to get cheaper chicken, and it's like this is fantastic price. So it is very very good.
Sorry,
It
guys.
is. And also,
Gonna just stop there for 1 second. Just getting the audio is getting a bit nuts. I think so. I'm gonna mute you for 1 second and see if yeah. The second I mute you, James, it goes nice and peaceful. There's something. Yeah, because I turned your volume down to see if it helped, but then the chat were saying they couldn't hear you. Um, so, and let me. Yeah, it's all right. No, it's still every time one of us talk. Do you want to try and just plug out the headset for a second? And then you might have to change. No, I can still. Yeah, that's crazy. It's still playing back through. Is this the phone that you used in the last one? I can't hear you because you probably have to change your mic settings. Chat. You can just chat amongst yourselves. From
So, how's it going, guys?
Let me test. Oh, I think you did it. Yeah. I think that's much. Yeah, I'm not hearing that. How does that sound for you, Adam?
Yeah, it sounds good. I can hear him now.
You're not hearing that thing, right, guys? Can you give us a quick thumbs up? Then I think we should be good. James will do a dance at the end to make up for the last time.
I have free packs.
Free packs. Yeah, James is gonna get free packs. He just got stock, so he has. You can't hear him. I don't know why you can't hear him. Oh wait. Right. Let me try something. Okay. Can you hear him now? Talk there again, Jimmy.
Hello. Can you hear me now?
Everyone hear me now? Yeah, I made a quick adjustment. I think that should be it.
I'm afraid
definitely don't touch anything because you got rid of that noise that was in the background. After the stream, go and watch it back, Jimmy. Get to about, what are we at? About half an hour now, and you'll be like, whoa.
It was like raw.
It was like Scotty was about to beam me up.
Okay,
we got the heads up from Shane. Thank you, Shane. We're good. We're solid. You guys, we're good. Perfect. Now, back to you guys. Adam was a terrible judge because he cheated. Continue.
Yeah, that's it.
I knew his stuff at least, but Yu-Gi-Oh! Judging was good crack. Looking back, the prize for it was terrible. It was like you got a pack for every player that's in an event, and here in Northern Ireland, we don't have very many people. So you only ever got like 20 packs, which isn't even a box. So it was a lot for very little, and Yu-Gi-Oh! Cards never had much value. So no, it was very much for a love of the game. It was good crack though.
And was it always mostly Yu-Gi-Oh! For you?
Yeah, it was. Yu-Gi-Oh! Was the main game I would have played. I sort of came into like buying and selling Pokemon a lot later. But yeah, Yu-Gi-Oh! Was the one I sort of played nationals every year, went to YCSs, which are sort of like Pokemon regionals.
Okay.
And they were always really, really good fun. Great opportunity to go over, meet loads of friends. And it was like one of these weird things where you go to an event, you play someone on a top table or on a table, and then like at the next YCS, you'd see them again, even though they were like from France or Germany, and you're like, oh, I remember you. And you just like, oh, how you doing? What's your record? So like that cross community thing was unreal. It was really, really cool.
Nice. And so, sorry, you set up in 2019, you said, was the shop?
Yeah. 2019 was the start of it all.
So then you just came into COVID.
Yes, so we opened up, and then for a year, like you couldn't do anything. I remember like whenever we were doing like you had to do curbside pickup, so people would place an order with us. We'd have to go downstairs, leave it at the front door, and they'd have to come in and collect it. So there was a lot of like nonsense that sort of went on during that period. And yeah, it was quite a rough time. But again, at the very start, we were more of an online business. We weren't really a physical store as such, so. We sold a lot on eBay. We sold a lot on Card Market. We sold a lot for our website. We did huge volumes of Yu-Gi-Oh! Cases. So Yu-Gi-Oh! Was one of those games where if you buy a case, you're guaranteed set ratios. So again, for playing cards, you're guaranteed to get like free of this secret rare, free of this secret rare, free of this. It wasn't like Pokemon in that sense. So people bought stuff by the case quantity to guarantee that they would get what they need. So it was really, really good in that sense. And then we came to Pokemon and realized that, you open cases and you're not guaranteed shit. And that was quite a negative experience because I think the first ever set we sort of cracked for Pokemon to try to do singles was Chilling Reign, and Jesus, it was bad. We never opened another case of product ever again for anything for Pokemon, like never again for singles. We sort of just stuck to buying and selling secondhand singles for it. It was bad. I think we got like the Big Moltres, the Kentucky Fried Chicken, Zapdos, and then like the Unicorn Rapidash. And that was all that was in our case. It was so bad. And you're sitting there looking at like, this is like 600 quid worth of booster boxes. How's there like £200 worth of cards here. Like this isn't fun for anyone.
I've a booster box of Chilling Reign here if you want me to crack it and give you a bit of PTSD. I was going to ask you something, but now I'm thinking about Chilling Reign and how bad that was. So sorry, COVID. So COVID didn't actually affect you negatively, really? Then?
No, COVID was actually the best thing that ever happened to us. We didn't have to talk to people, so that was a great start. COVID was fantastic. Online orders took off. It was a real good time for people. People had a lot more disposable income. So whenever people have disposable income, they buy trading cards. Obviously, it's logical. Why would you save?
Of course.
Trading cards are saving. So we sold a lot of stuff. Exactly. Yeah, exactly. So, we were able to sort of really ramp up what we were doing because of that period. And if it hadn't been for COVID, I actually don't think we would have ever got to the bigger shop. To be brutally honest, it just gives a really good period of growth. It just exploded overnight.
And then, so what were you seeing mostly? I assume the answer is Pokemon, but were you still seeing a spread across the other TCGs through COVID?
Yeah, so like again, during COVID, we were mainly Yu-Gi-Oh! Pokemon at that time, Evolving Skies had just come out and gone. And even then, Evolving Skies wasn't big. And then just after COVID, Hidden Fates started going boogaloo. Hidden Fates had just went absolutely boogaloo. ETBs had hit like 250 quid. Pokemon had been like, you know what, this is silly, guys. We're going to reprint this. And everyone was like, what? This set's like 2 years old. You can't reprint it. It's 2 years old. Stop it. Just what are you doing? I bought loads of this. Stop it. So like people were starting to like lose their shit over it. Which is, it's crazy as well because, it was a set that wasn't in rotation for playing, and Pokemon don't tend to print stuff that is in rotation. But yeah, we had developed a really good relationship with our distributor, and they were like, hey, we have a pallet of Hidden Fates tins here for you if you want some. And at that time, it was such a guaranteed, you can sell this within an instant, get your money and move on to the next thing. So like that there just sort of accelerated. And from there on in, Pokemon just never stopped, like until sort of Scarlet and Violet at the start. Then it got real bad. But yeah, it was a good spread. And Pokemon really took off for us just after COVID, and carried throughout Sword and Shield, like all the way up until Astral Radiance, and then that one was pretty bad. So
Yeah, that was
like
bad.
yeah,
That one killed us. Yeah.
Astral was a pretty bad set, like, and then even still, like, there's not real much love for Astral. The origin form, the Alga and Palkia and stuff are just like, nah, this ain't it.
I think Astral is underrated because you have the Machamp, the Palkia and the Alga, and you have the Misty Starmie, which people love.
Starmie's good, but even whenever the Starmie came out, it was like a £10 card. Like, it wasn't until sort of recent times that it sort of
it was one of the first cards I pulled. And at
really?
the time, I had no idea. Now I've still got it nice and safely in my binder. But yeah, I from the second, I was like, oh my God, this has to be worth loads. And it wasn't. And now it is. But it should have been.
But yeah, yeah, exactly. Like all the trainer gallery stuff, whenever they first started doing it, it was like £1, £2, £3 for any of the trainer galleries.
Yeah.
I still remember like Vaporeon, Jolteons, and Flareons being like £1.50 each on like eBay and stuff. And I was like, whoa, look how that aged.
Yeah.
It is absolutely mental. But yeah, Pokemon exploded out of there. And then there was obviously the 151, and it just drove things up to a different level. Paldean Fates was massive. They just had hit after hit, and it sort of very much took over.
And then, so sorry guys, I said there's one or two questions coming into the chat. If we miss any questions, we're going to give you time at the end. Come back to us at the end with your questions, and we'll try to get through them all then. So yeah, Adam, then, so after COVID then, is that when you decided to become more of a physical shop? Because then that was kind of when the boom was coming in as well. How did they kind of work together?
So it was very much a case of, yet again, at that time we built up so much stocks. There was boxes lying all over the hallway, down the stairs, in the toilet, underneath the stairs, in the kitchen. It got to the point where it was like, right, okay, we need to sort of change what we're doing here. So we went for a bigger space. I went and looked at a unit in Newton Ards, and I was like, I really like the space. It was right on the corner by a roundabout. All the traffic went past it. There was schools in the area. There was residential in the area. There was a car park. There was a bus stop right outside it. It ticked all the boxes. And I had took my dad at the time, and he was like, nah, this is shit. Don't buy it. And I was like, thanks for the ongoing support, Dad. So I went back without him, and I was like, yeah, I'm going to do it. I'm just going to do it. So again, it was that sort of don't think about it and just went for I sort of had a gut feeling at that time, and that's whenever we sort of made the change over into being right. We're going to focus on building a community here, because that's what any business needs. It needs that stable core for you to build on into something else, and that's what we sort of spent the last sort of 3 or 4 years building, is that stable foundation for us now to build up on the online side, on the warehouse, on the singles, and try and work out what's the next step, what can you do now. And it was a game changer for us. As I said, we were very, very lucky that we just found a good group of people who sort of came in. And I like to talk about people in these communities being anchor individuals. And what I mean by an anchor individual is it's a person that the community seems to gravitate towards. It's the person in the community who's like, oh, you need this card? Yeah, I've got it here you go. Someone new comes into the shop. Oh, do you want to learn how to play here? Yeah, I can sit down and teach you. It's those people who are super passionate about the games and really wanted to see it grow, and they're in it for the good of the game or in the good of the hobby.
Yeah.
And those people are just so important for like LGS stores like mine to sort of grow and expand.
Well, I've got some beef to pick with you. So I used to be that's not bad. But your shop was one of my, whenever I was doing my shopping, my Pokemon shopping, you were one of the websites I had as a bookmarked, and then it got very difficult, obviously because of the boom and scalpers. Yeah. And then one day I was just heartbroken. I was like, I can't buy anything anymore. Yeah. And I could, like, I've been planning to go to the shop for so long. It's about a 2-hour drive each way, but obviously because I had you online, I was like, oh, Northern Card Gaming, good old reliable. Honestly, times have changed. Well, it's so like, how difficult do you find it to get things online now? Or I'm sure you can put them online, but how much trouble is it when they go on in terms of bots, scalpers, all that?
Yeah, it's crazy. So what people don't realize is for stores to sell online, it means that we have to not sell to people who are willing to make the effort to come to our store. Yeah. So, like, don't get me wrong. As a store, we want to be able to sell to everyone. And I'll just be quite honest and transparent about this. Us as a store, we make our money from singles. Like, the margin on product isn't great. So we need you to buy boxes. We don't want you to set them aside in your seal collection. We want you to open the boxes, sell us your unwanted singles that you hit for us to then sell those on to make money on those. But that can't really happen if you're selling it abroad or outside your local community. Whenever there's such a restricted amount of stock, you sort of have to pick and choose what you can do. And unfortunately, the amount of stock that we've been getting just never sort of rose up to this is more than our local demand is. The local demand is just up here and the supply's down here. But even as you said, with online, bots are a nightmare. So right now I can go on to our website and I can put up a product. And what people do is they actually use URL bots. So they will take the URL of the product, they will keep constantly trying to force it into the checkout, and they'll just keep spamming it. And as soon as stock hits that item, it'll purchase within like half a second, and that's it gone. So what we did at one point is I took it was Destined Rivals, I think it was, and we kept the name, like we changed the title from Destined Rivals to Alfredo, put a picture of Alfredo on the picture, and changed the price to like a tenner or something. And we kept the URL the same. So the URL, whenever you click on the URL, would still come up. It would be like Destined Rivals Booster Box as the URL. So and then the bots would constantly still go to that. They don't have the ability to check to see that it is a Freddo in a picture and a Freddo title and a Freddo in the description, because they're just trying to buy that URL product. So we did that a few times, and that caused a lot of scalpers to drop off. Unfortunately, there's this thing called the Distance Selling Act, which means I had to give them all their money back and not send them.
You wouldn't get
it was quite unfortunate, but it was good fun, and it was a good way to mess. It was like, but there's a couple of things that you can do now as stores. So Shopify has been really, really good, and you can now do this thing called unlisted products. So it's kind of like an invite only. Yes. Again, that only works if you keep the URL secret.
Yeah.
If you were to say for example, my website is like northerncardgaming.com, and it's like /destined-rivals-booster-box. Someone can like put that into URL and it'll still bring up the unlisted product, so people can still get it. That's why you have to be a wee bit more creative with the URL, so not anyone can just sit and get onto it. But yeah, bots are a huge problem, and they buy stock so quickly. And then us as a store, so all payment providers now will not refund us the fee. So say, for example, you buy using PayPal, and that's a free or 2.9% fee plus 30 pence. We don't get that back. So if you buy a £100 booster box, we lose £3.30, and we don't get that back. You cancel, we don't get it back. We can't even implement a term and condition to say, look, if you cancel, we reserve the right to charge a restocking fee. It's illegal. Under this Distinct Selling Act, all customers have to get the amount that they paid with no deduction. So it's just a cost of business, essentially. So what we had happen there during Lorcana, whenever Lorcana came out, the first chapter, massive, absolutely huge. Second set came out, and it was a dud, absolute garbage. So what we had was a lot of people were using bots to buy it, to try to resell it. Release comes up, these people bought boxes 2-3 months ahead of time. So you're sitting there, you've got your 300 booster box sold. Next thing you know, you have a wave of emails for about 90 boxes being like, hey, I want to cancel this order. And you're sitting there like, oh, you just got to cancel it. You have to eat that huge fee of canceling all those orders. And now you're sort of stuck with all this stock. So it's very difficult. It means that, you're better off just not selling online, because people are allowed to cancel orders right up until dispatch. And even after dispatch, they can return the order. So we had a load of people didn't cancel their, what was it called? Floodborne, Rise of Floodborne booster box order. And then they got it and just sent it back and asked for a refund, because they're allowed to do that. You're allowed to return items within 14 days of receiving for a full refund. So as a store, you just have to eat that loss. But now you've got all this inventory that you never really wanted, and everyone's already bought it. So you're not going to be able to sell. So you're sort of stuck in this difficult situation of what you do.
You open it.
Unfortunately, Lorcana has no value in it.
Yeah, no, that one definitely died off fairly quick. I know people still play tournaments now. Do you get many tournaments for Lorcana?
Yeah, Lorcana's great. Like on Thursday nights, we have our main locals for it, and there's normally between sort of 18 and 22 people come down every week and play. And it's a really nice game. There's a lot of older people, but it's one of the first card games outside Pokemon that has like younger players getting involved. And as a card shop, that's really important. Like one of my biggest concerns with having a card shop is, if you look at us, we're all sitting here, we're probably 30s. A lot of our customer bases are pushing 40s and sometimes 50s.
21.
Yeah. But, like our biggest concern is, right, a lot of people our age are starting families, they're buying houses. Whenever you do those types of things, like you don't have disposable income, like you disappear from the scene for a long time. So who's coming in to take their place? Like how many young people are coming into the hobby? And that's another problem with like the lack of stock. Young people can't get in, they can't go out and buy something. You can't go to the local shop and buy your first Pokemon pack and get that really cool Pokemon card that they've been seeing online. And that's such a problem, because it just means that the whole community sort of stagnates because you can't grow it. And I think it's a big thing Pokemon need to look at as well, even just in terms of organized play. If you look at their tournaments right now, if you go onto their standings for Masters, Seniors, and Juniors, you see the Masters rank, which is the adults, is massive. Seniors, it drops off, they're teenagers. There's not going to be many of them out. And then Juniors is quite low as well. So there's just such a disparity from the people who are involved and the people getting in. It's quite crazy.
That's another thing actually I think about now and then, is because I've gone to card shops or collectible shops and asked about product, and they're constantly telling me how guilty they feel about kids, because a parent could go in but not have a clue what they're asking for. But then by the time a kid gets brought in by their mother, when they have the time to bring them in, they're missing out to the adults who are sharp and know the release dates and know that are more knowledgeable. And then you've got a kid coming up 3 days later after a release and there's nothing there. But do you see that that's easier to manage by not having things online? Oh yeah, definitely. So we also do like a lot of like limits. So the way we work is, if you come into the shop and play, you get to order something. You get a pre-order. Okay. If you come into the shop regularly and we know you and you've been like part of our shop for a while, we try to pride ourselves in knowing our customers. If you come into the shop, I want to make sure that we know your name, what you're about, what you're into, like you're part of the family essentially. And that was sort of an atmosphere that was sort of like inspired by, there's a shop in England called the Brotherhood Games, and those guys are incredible. Like Mike and his family, anyone who walks through that door is treated like family, and it's an incredible atmosphere. It's a great way to go about it. But if you're coming into our shop and you're making the effort to come to us and play in our events and supporting us that way, the least we can do is support you by ensuring that you're getting something that you're after. And that's always something that we've done
for quite a while now. So our players will always get priority, and our local community to come in and chat away with us and engage with us will always get to pre-order. Like for example, the Moltres UPCs was unlisted on the website. We sent the link to our local players. They got to order it. We do like special restock nights. So we have a warehouse full of some special bits and pieces. And like there was one night that we just brought over like 151 booster bundles, some ETBs, Black Bolt, White Flare stuff. And it's all at RRP. It was like, guys, thanks for supporting us. Come down, grab what you want, enjoy it. And I think like that's a much better way of doing it. But even with product limits, like it helps spread the stock out to as many people as possible. And one of the other things we do is, so say for example, just argument's sake, we're told, okay, you're getting 100 ETBs, 100 booster boxes. What we'll do is we'll ask all the players, hey guys, you're allowed one booster box, one ETB max. There's about 30 of them, so that's about 30 of them gone. We'll set aside 2 cases of ETBs, and we'll set aside 3 cases of booster boxes. So those booster boxes will do is for all the organized play. So every time people come in, they pay their entry fee, they get a booster pack, they get the prize support. That means we always have packs for the people who are coming down to the shop and playing in the events. The the ETBs are set aside, so down the line, whenever everyone has no stock, we can do a big restock post and be like, hey, look what we have, which then drives new people into the shop. And that's very important as well, like, because at the minute you go into most shops, no one has Pokemon stuff. So how do you ensure that you always have Pokemon stuff? It's by not selling it all in one go at the very start. But again, then the people who come in, they aren't able to buy a booster box. They can buy their 5 packs on release. They can buy an ETB, and then they can buy like some other bits and pieces, like a triple blister or so on and so forth. And that's sort of how you spread it out to as many people as possible. One thing we started doing in the sort of, I think it was Journey Together, was we always now set aside 1 case of ETBs for kids. And that's one thing that we've been doing for a long time. So if a kid comes into the store, and we had a situation with Black Bolt and White Flare where like a kid came in and I had nothing, there was nothing left for him to buy. And it was such a shit experience for both him and his family and us. So like since then we were very much, okay, we'll set aside 1 case, it'll sit behind the till. If a family comes in and there's nothing on the shelf, here you go. You can buy one of these.
I like that. I really like that. That's with that, and you said something there that caught me. The way you kind of focus more on the people who come in and the regulars and like that. I feel like the word community is thrown around a lot. It's a buzzword that really annoys me, even though it's true. But I think what you do is almost a definition, because you're rewarding the people who are loyal, that are genuinely in the community. They're in regular. They're players. They go to you all the time. And with that and the way you keep some aside for little kids, that's I love hearing stuff like that. That really does make that. I'll call that community.
So, but like, don't get me wrong, like even we have our trouble as well. So for example, at the minute you can buy nothing from distribution. I'm sure if you talk to anyone who has distribution access, they'll tell you the same. So what we find ourselves doing is we have to buy a lot from wholesale now, and some of the wholesale prices are wild. Like it's silly. Yeah, it is silly. So like it also feels really bad because as a shop owner, I want to see my shelves full. I don't want like lots of stuff. And then here's the problem as well. So during COVID, we had a period where no one wanted Pokemon. No one wanted it. Like it was terrible. After sort of COVID, Scarlet and Fad, whenever it first came out, no one wanted anything. There was SV1, 2, and 3 on like massive discount at distribution. So you could buy as much of anything you wanted, and there was no limits, no nothing. You could just buy, and they'll give it to you. You couldn't give it away. So at that time, we started buying a lot of stock. We would buy overstock because during COVID again, we had this sort of same situation that we have now, which was there's no stock for anyone to sell.
Yeah.
So after that, we were sort of like, right, we need to overstock. But now it's got to the point where, you know, a lot of those products have appreciated so much and they're so expensive that if you put them on your shelf now, all you'll do is annoy someone because they can't buy the current stock. That stock is now £200, £300, £400 an ETB maybe. And that just annoys people because it's still close enough in recent memory. You know, like 3-4 years ago sounds a long time ago, but it's like 7, 8, 10 sets away. Like it's not that distant. So it leaves a real bad taste in people's mouths. So even if you have a lot of stock from then, it makes it very difficult to sell it in good taste now. Because people can't get anything, and people are obviously quite frustrated with that lack of RRP stock. And that's always going to be a difficult one. Like what you do you sell it at RRP? You've sort of been sitting on it for 4 or 5 years. You know, you've you've bought it, you've put out all that people could ever have asked for at the time. What you do with the stuff that you sat on.
And that's interesting because, you know, you're obviously a well-established store at this time. You've obviously got your distributors. But you mentioned wholesalers. Is that something you still have to...
At the minute, yeah. So like at the minute, the wholesaler has more stock than the distributor. Like this week, I went on and bought, what did I buy this week? I bought Pokeball tins. I bought single packs. I bought some Paldean Fates packs. I bought some Scarlet and Violet half boosters. I bought some Temple Forces half boosters. I bought some Azure Legends tins, I think it was, as well. So I was able to get a few bits and pieces, but like the prices on them are ridiculous. And even things like, for example, for triple boosters, like we sort of like to say in retail, especially, you have to be sort of at 30% profit margin for it to be sustainable. And that's because you normally experience in retail about 3% shrinkage, which is people just coming in stealing. Things being stolen both by staff or by customers or all sorts, damages, stuff going missing, that's about 3%. And then obviously by the time you pay your staff, heating, lights, all out there, you still need to be making something. So sort of 30% is sort of the baseline of what you can sort of afford to give away if you want to keep scaling and growing. And whenever you start doing that with some of these like triple listers, for example, you need to be charging £20, £21, £22 to have a 30% profit margin. And a lot of the time what I find myself telling people is don't buy this. It sucks. It's too expensive. Like we actually were on the radio recently about it. I didn't realize at the time, but his son, he had come into the shop and they wanted to buy something. And he was like, I really want this. And I was like, don't, it's too expensive. It sucks and it's going to go down in price. And his dad was like, what? Well, what do you mean buy it? It's like, are you not supposed to be selling me this? And it's like, at the end of the day, you know, we're all the same. We all want to get our money's worth.
Yeah.
You know, people will come back if you are upfront, you're honest with them, you try to be transparent. It's something we've always tried to do. If something is expensive on the shelf, talk to us. We'll explain why it's expensive, and we'll explain why we can't budge. So, for example, recently I messed up massively. I bought a load of Celebrations seal boxes from a guy and a load of seal packs. So, bought all this stuff from him, and then it all arrived. And I messaged the guy. I was like, "Hi, there's a whole load of like XY Sun Moon era packs missing from this parcel. Where are they?" And he was like, oh, yeah, I'll send them out to you next week. I'll send them out next week. Never came. So all of a sudden I bought all this stuff and it's down. I'm down like £600-700 in value because they just never sent these packs. So, you know, these things happen sometimes. So on the other Celebrations boxes, I have to sort of push up above market to try and make money back on it. So I think like we had like Charizard boxes at like 145. We dropped that down to about 135 now, but we needed to make that sort of margin back somewhere. So we don't just lose out massively. And the thing is, everyone knows Pokemon, and this is my biggest problem with modern Pokemon is there's no appreciation period anymore. And what I mean by that is everyone knows a booster box might be £200-300 in 3, 4, 5 years time. And we've stopped doing that 3, 4, 5 years time. It comes out and it's £250, £300 now.
Yeah.
So there's no market appreciation over time. It's just, it is out, it is now this price, tough. And the problem with that approach is how do you justify an RRP of X if everyone's telling you it is significantly higher than X? And it's such a hard thing to fix for everyone.
Yeah, that is something that kills me because, as I said, I come back in between Silver Tempest, Lost Origin, and pretty quickly I realized, okay, you know, Silver Tempest comes out, or Crown Zenith comes out, or whatever the next set was, Scarlet Violet base. I realized that, if I don't have the money to buy a booster box on release, I can go and buy one 4, 5, 6 months later for 130, 120, 130, 140. So I was in no rush, and I would just pick up a booster box when I had the money ready. Whereas now, I feel like if I want a booster box of a set, if I don't get it there and then, I'm going to have to pay an arm and a leg to get something that, as you said, is at the price where older sets are taking 4 or 5 years to get to. It's mental. It
makes no sense. Like, to me, it makes no sense why, for example, our booster boxes like Destined Rivals, like near £300, and the sets less than a year old, and sets like Silver Tempest and stuff have just got there. Like, and at the same time, why are sets like Silver Tempest and Fusion Strike anywhere near the high prices that they are.
Yeah.
Like Fusion Strike back at the time was pretty much known in our local shop as Fusion Shite because the pull rates were terrible. There was literally the Gengar and the Mew. Mew was played in competitive decks. That's cool, whatever. But at the time, like you couldn't get anything out of the set. It was terrible. Like, and I actually still pretty much, if you go search our Facebook page, you'll find a special offer where we were selling booster boxes of Fusion Strike for £100 a box because no one would buy it.
To get rid of them.
I can vouch for that because you also had Chill and Rain for quite a while.
Yeah, Chill and Pain.
You've no idea how many times I had both of them in my basket and didn't pull the trigger. And then one day I pulled the trigger on Chill and Rain. It should be there somewhere, but I never did Fusion Strike, and now I kick myself that I picked the one that people like less than.
But it's even the same as like Paldea Evolved. Like no one liked the Magikarp. Like where did this hype for a Magikarp come from all of a sudden? Like whenever it released, you could buy boxes online for like 90 quid, and then all of a sudden after like they did a huge dump of another wave, people were like, you know what, guys, we actually really like Magikarp now. You know that is the reason why this box should be £200. The Magikarp, that is it. You know, everyone, this is the best set ever. Buy it, please.
Please.
Paldea Evolved's a good set. You got the Raichu, you get the Tyranitar as well. It's a good set. It's a good, but I have the Magikarp, so I will tell you it's an amazing card. It's there somewhere.
Yeah. It was in our top 5, sure.
It was in our top 5 that we did the other day.
But like, it's crazy because I think as well, like we're now in an era where media influence has such a huge impact on how everything works. Like, so many cards. So another big example is Bubble Mew. So I remember Bubble Mew started off, and it was £200 for such a long time. We bought a copy at about $280, I think it was at the time. It's just started going up, and then it sort of hit the dizzy heights of like $340 at that time, and then crashed all the way back down to like $220, and now it's back up to like $360. But like, it's just such a volatile. What are people talking about on YouTube? What are people saying about it? What are people telling people to buy? And it just has such a huge impact on the market in general.
Big time. Damn YouTubers. No, it's true though, because I watch a lot of YouTube, and I've seen talks about certain YouTubers mention it or blow up a specific card or a specific set, and the next thing, it's just everybody needs to go and spend all their money on that set, and then they shortly realize, oh, it's just an average set. Why did I do that?
Well, it's like pump and dump in stocks. Like, you know, they hype it up so that they can sell their card at that price, and then everyone realize, oh, this isn't what I thought it was.
That's exactly what it is. And I feel like it's happened so many times, and it's still people. What was the one they did recently? Someone pumped a card that bubbled. It's not Mew or something stupid.
The Booger Mew, wasn't it? Yeah.
Good old
Booger Mew. Yeah.
It's still about 30 quid. I'm pretty sure. But again, like, it's still about 30 quid. But again, like, that set sort of makes sense. Like, Black Bolt, White Flare is such a big set. So it kind of makes sense for some of the art rares in that set to be expensive because the pull rate on them is so low. And that's like another big problem with like English cards is just the pull rates on stuff is typically horrendous. They've improved it significantly with like the recent sets, but on the holiday sets, like Prismatic was terrible. Like, you're telling me like, I have no idea who the hell decided that a Pokeball should be a hit in any pack or box. Like, you get that stuff and you sort of throw it in. It's like, what is this? Like, where is my alt arts? Like, you've got so many nice cards in the set. Give me one of those.
The whole time when I was going through quite a long season of opening Prismatic, I was constantly arguing with people that reverse Pokeballs are not a hit.
Even the tracker.
But like, even like then, like, and this is, I think hindsight's a great thing because we always sort of do it with every set. A set comes out, and at the time we all think, oh, this is terrible. Like Crown Zenith, whenever it first came out, everyone wasn't overly fussed on it. Like, it didn't do very well. Now looking back on it, we're like, well, the Galarian Gallery in this set was nutty. It was insane. You know, and like, even looking back, like, even things like the Suicune and the Raikou and all those cards were like 10 quid at the time. Like, it's just so crazy that how quickly perceptions of product can change whenever you sort of have a bad set or a spell where you can't buy anything. And so you really appreciate how good the stuff before was.
Absolutely. And I think another thing that we're seeing right now, I mean, obviously the last year has been, you know, the lack of product has been for scalper, you know, due to scalpers, but I think there's a lot of FOMO as well. I think one cause of that is scalpers. It's, if I don't get it now, the scalpers will get it. But I think there's just so much buzz and hype around everything now that there's this, like, if I don't get that, I don't have the next, you know what I mean? I think FOMO is a huge thing right now. Whereas when as I said, I'm going to keep jumping back to 22, early 23, I didn't have to FOMO because I knew I could just keep getting stuff. The only time I had a bit of FOMO early on was the first Charizard UPC. Because I think a lot of shops were even doing like draws for. I think QX guys actually did a draw for that as well, didn't you?
We did, and then Pokemon were really nice and printed millions of them.
Yeah.
So but again, as you said, that was a different time. At that point, they dropped the print run on products, so they had the time to do it. And I think as well, like now, sets are coming out so quickly that there's no time between set. Like we've Ascended Heroes, exactly, and we've Ascended Heroes now in like a week or two, and then we have Ascended Heroes products for a while, and then I think it's March is Perfect Order. So these products are non-stop, and then after Perfect Order will be something else. But even if you look at the most recent sets, there was a month gap between the release of the last two sets, and it's just like, what? How do you even sort this out?
The last quarter of 2025 nearly killed me. I thought I was done. I thought
it's crazy. It's absolutely insane. And the problem as well is like people only have so much money. So now you have to choose, do you actually eat food this month, or do you buy yourself your booster box?
That's it.
Before you never get to see it again.
And people who have FOMO, like I'm a hypocrite, by the way. I do have FOMO. I want to buy it all. It's you're like, how can I afford? And I think this is like I intentionally chose I'm skipping the 2 UPCs. I didn't pre-order them. I didn't go out of my way. I was just like, no. Like if I have to skip something, I'll skip the UPCs. Probably going to be terrible pull rates, and I'm pretty sure everybody had terrible pull rates on the Charizard anyway. I'll buy the promos. But I had to. There was no way, because I try and open as much new stuff for videos and stuff, right?
Yeah, you have to keep relevant.
Yeah, but I couldn't, especially coming up to Christmas. There was a load of card shows in between that I wanted to get content at. Crazy. So I'll take 2 quick questions. I see there's a couple of questions coming in. I'll take 2 quick questions, guys, from the chat, and then again try hold them till the end. If you guys don't mind, we'll bring up just 1 or 2 quick ones there.
Yeah, go for it.
This one came in a couple of minutes ago from Bran, just around the distributor topic. Getting a good distributor was about who you know, or did you have to kind of take the risk with someone you research? If I'm right, you kind of only have a couple of options, and it's just an application kind of thing, no?
It is. So distribution is, there's one sole distributor for Pokemon in the UK, essentially. And then they distribute to all the smaller distributors as well. But they're not currently accepting accounts. So even our single shop, which is its own standalone shop, it had to put in an application, and it's still being processed. So we still haven't got a distribution account for the single shop. We only have one for the main shop. So it's not a risk. There's only 1 or 2. If you actually Google like Pokemon distribution in UK or Pokemon distribution in Ireland, the people who actually do the distribution come up if you just do a wee bit of digging. Yeah. It's not about who you know. It's not about what you know. It's the information out there. You just have to fill in an application form. In order to get distribution from the main people, you have to be VAT registered, and you have to be already trading. So you have to have proof of a website, or if you don't have a website, you have to have proof of a brick and mortar store. You have to have your lease agreement. You have to have your VAT registration. It's quite a difficult process now. It's just because the demand for product is so high. The supplier can't keep up. At the minute, we're getting very small amounts. If they add in an extra 100, 200, 300 new accounts of people who want to start buying and selling cards, we get even less. So everyone gets a much smaller amounts because Pokemon can't print anymore for now.
And then we'll take one more question just before I forget it. Adam has a store. What are your thoughts on the staggered release of Ascended Heroes?
It's kind of like Prismatic all over again. So it's good and it's bad. It's good in the sense that we have product going to be on shelves at different periods for a prolonged period of time. It's bad because we're going to have 100 customers standing at the door being like, when are you getting more? And I don't know. So for people who don't know, the way distribution works at the minute is we don't get to order. We're told by distribution, this is how much you're getting. Would you like it? And then you say yes or no, and that's it. There's no information on restocks. There's no information on anything like that. So at the minute, we only know of Surge and Sparks restock, which just happened. We were told about it sort of 4 weeks ago, and we were told you're going to get 24 boxes for the month of January or whatever the amount was. That they're like, here you go, here's some boxes for January. You're going to get some Journey Together, and that's sort of how it works now. I quite like the idea of them staggering stuff. It means that for us as a store, your invoice is much smaller as well. So even for smaller stores, it means that you have the cash sort of set aside for it, and you're not just crippling yourself by here's 12 different lines that you have to pay for. It's good as well because it gives customers the opportunity to buy stuff across a prolonged period of time so they can afford it, which is a very, very big part of it as well. And it also allows you to clear out, if you have something that might have been a bit slower moving. So for example, if you have like a triple blister or some tins that typically would be a bit slower moving, people come into your shop and the next time they're in, they're like, oh, actually, I want some more packs. What do you have? It's like, oh, we have these products as well. So as a store, it gives you a good opportunity to sell other stuff. What it also does is everyone knows, like if you're a business, you want people coming into your store. It gets people in, it gets people talking, it gets engagement. It gives you an opportunity to post on your socials. It gets you an opportunity to talk to more people. As a store as well, though, it is a nightmare because, as I said, you just get phone calls. It's like, hello, do you have any Pokemon cards? It's like, yes, we're a Pokemon store. Do you have any of the Ascended Heroes? No, those sold out yesterday whenever they released. Like, when do you get more? We're not. Like, try again next month, please. And you just have that conversation on a daily, like for ages. And it's a bit of a nightmare sometimes. But
should just get an automated one.
I actually looked into that. Actually, it was like I was so tempted, like set up a thing. It's like press 1 for like Pokemon inquiries. It just goes to a dead line. Just like there's
don't kid yourself.
Yeah, sold out.
Honestly, for ages, like whenever Prismatic came out, we had so many phone calls, and it was about Christmas time as well. It's like, hello, I'm inquiring to see if you have any Pokemon cards. Like, yeah. At that point, I got so sick of asking the question. It was like, no, unfortunately, we don't have any 151 Prismatic Evolutions, Paldean Fates, or Crown Zenith. But we do have some Scarlet Violet, Shrouded Fable, and name the sets that people didn't want. It's like, we have these stuff. And yeah, it just got a bit of like tiring as a store.
I'd imagine, but that's it's a good point though on the staggered being good for you guys because it means you more can over time.
Yeah, it's good for you guys as well because I mean, like it's different products to buy at different times. It means that you can save money up. You know what's coming out, so you can set aside. Okay, so this month we have tech stickers and mini tins. Okay, that's fantastic. I only need to set aside 30 quid for this month. Next month we have an ETB maybe. I'll set aside 100 pounds because I want to try to get 2 of those or whatever. So it's a nice way to like help you money manage. Like I think one of our biggest notices is obviously a lot of our community would be neurodivergent, and neurodivergent individuals are quite prone to impulsive spending. So sometimes you have the opportunity to buy something and then you realize you couldn't afford to buy that thing, but you've still bought it. And so it helps money management for a lot of people as well. And that's quite important, like for everyone.
Agreed.
That was a bit of a quake of the voice there.
I was just drooling and thinking about I can't wait for Ascended Heroes to come out.
Such a big set.
What I'm going to like about this staggered release is I got a little bit of stick off one of my videos. I don't think I'm going to be overly excited about Perfect Order.
Yeah.
So I'll open the bare minimum and then go back to Ascended Heroes. So I'm kind of happy about the staggering in this one.
I don't know. They started releasing some stuff for it. Did you see the Clefairy?
Yeah, but that's just one card, and
I mean, you called Paldea Evolved a good set after naming 3 cards.
So
there's 2 more.
Raichu, Tyranitar, the Iono was pretty cool. The Magikarp. There was a couple more in it that were pretty solid. There was more.
Yes, the fact you can't name them tells me everything I need to know.
I can't name all the cards from all I just remember I enjoyed opening it. Right, we'll again, guys. Any other questions from here? Try keep them till the end of the stream. I just don't want to miss them. That's why I took those 2. Any other questions? Come back to us in a bit. Right, we'll jump back to what it's like right now. So I'm very curious. We just went through a huge boom, kind of the last, kind of from Surgeon if that's where you would have identified it from Surgeon, then obviously Prismatic, and then through the year, we saw this. What are you seeing now? What are you seeing at the start of kind of the end of the year, start of this year? What's it looking like now?
Pretty bare on shelves, to be honest with you. Like, there's no stock anywhere. What I would say is they're printing more stock than ever before. It's just in different places. So there's more ETBs out in the wild. There's more Pokemon stock out in the wild. It's just where you would find it isn't what it was before. So beforehand, you would have found it in your Smiths only and your local game stores. Now you'll find it in pet stores. You'll find it in local Chinese takeaways. You'll find it in car garages. You'll find it in coffee shops. So now there's a lot more stock spread out amongst so many more different places. But it is out there. So for example, just before Christmas, one of our customers sent into our Pokemon group chat a picture of game in Belfast, and it was stacked. There was about 50 ETBs sitting on the shelves just before Christmas of Phantasmal Flames. So the stock is out there. It's just
where it
spread
is.
out.
I think that was I don't know where or who, I maybe watched a video or something where someone mentioned that it's also that other retailers or stores are picking up on the fact that there's money to be made in Pokemon, and they're going to their distributors and saying, "Hey, can I get some of this?" So it's, as you said, it's been spread, as well as more people coming into the hobby. It's being spread as well as that to make it even more challenging.
Yeah, it is challenging, but like it sort of comes down then to, again, as we said before, develop relationships with the local stores that you go to. Like, local game stores exist because people band around them, they create a community around them. And I know that's a word that gets thrown about a lot, but if you develop that relationship with stores, then you're going to get what you want a lot of the time. Or if you don't, they'll go out of their way to try and find places that have it for you. Or, as I said, we have a group chat now of people who are passionate about it who will drop in a message, "Hey guys, there's UPCs in Argos," or "There's this here, there's this there." It's people who just want to, like, "Hey, look, you can still get it here." So that's what I think is a very, very important part of it. Like, you can't go into Smith's and have a full-scale conversation with the cashier about all the stuff in the set and where to go grade your cards, or what condition the cards are in, or what they think is going to come out next year, or what they think of this Pokemon or that Pokemon. You don't get that same experience. So I do think it's quite important to go and try and support LGSs. Like, don't get me wrong, like, not every LGS is going to be golden, but again, not everyone knows what their situation is like, or why are they charging higher? Do they have higher rates? Like, you guys down south, anyone who lives in Dublin, your cost of living down there is wild. Like, I looked at a shop and I was like, is the 0 in the wrong place? Where's the decimal point on this? Like, what's going on there? So, it's a very difficult one to take. So, for example, I spoke to a couple of people about this. In order for us in the north to sell or to cover a staff's wage, so a staff member who worked 40 hours a week, minimum wage across a year, it takes 500 booster boxes at RRP to cover that staff's wage. Now, it's a big number, and we're not getting 500 booster boxes.
Jeez,
so that's why,
like that.
No, when you value it at that, like, that's insane.
I can understand booster boxes. Yeah, that makes more sense.
Yeah, that's my money.
That's what I mean. So,
500 booster boxes.
Yeah. So if you think about it, it's a 30% profit margin. So what's 30% profit margin on 150? It's quite easy math. So it adds up. And that's why, like, a lot of people who do get into hobbies, I always advise them, or even if they do look at wanting to open a store, don't jump straight into a store. Start off with a website, start off building a community, and don't stick to one thing. Like, you have to diversify at some point, because I can tell you quite honestly, like, Pokemon isn't our biggest seller, or wasn't our biggest seller last year. This year, the year before, sorry, last year it was massive. We did an extra huge amount because of the boom. But what happens whenever that boom stops? Or we get situations now where you're just not getting enough stock. Like, you have to find that money elsewhere to pay all the wages and keep the lights on and grow your business. So, like, it's why diversification is so important.
I want to actually as well talk to you about, because you've got the second location now with the singles, but just before I do, so you're saying right now it's still barren shelves, it's still dire straits. But
kind of.
How are you seeing 2026 look, or even the first half?
It will be
how
much.
Are you feeling? You think it's gonna be the same?
It's much the same. I already have my allocations for all the Sentinels in perfect order. And like, don't get me wrong, there's going to be a fair bit of booster boxes for Perfect Order. But here's the problem right now. What is happening? If you look at everyone knows the Pokemon goes up in price. Everyone knows. Like, look at every single booster box in history. It'll all appreciate over time. Every TP. So once you have that effect, what you're getting is a lot of people stashing some of their product for long-term investment or long-term growth. So you're getting a lot more people now who are just wholesalers, retailers, vendors, just putting stock away. Because they all know it's going to go up. So there's less stock hitting shelves in general because everyone's stashing it. So what happens then whenever everyone decides, you know what, actually this is now went up enough, let's cash in. And that's a huge problem. Like, a lot less is hitting shelves because people know it's going to go up. They can sit on it. It's not a big deal. As long as they sell a fair bit of it and everyone's happy that comes to their store, you're fine, or even online. On the other side of that, you have the people who just sell at market price, and they can do that. That's their initiative or their prerogative. Recommended is recommended for a reason. But again, they will probably feel a lot more hurt whenever Pokemon isn't big and the people who shop on price start finding people selling at £100 a box again. They probably won't shop with them, unfortunately. So it's in the first half, I'd say you're probably going to see much of the same. As a store, what we're doing, we actually currently now have to go online, scan through friends' websites. We have a lot of group chats now with other stores and stuff, and we're just like, hey guys, who has any of the following products at or near MRP? Do you want them off your books to free up capital for the upcoming release? And then we buy it and sell it, or we use the wholesaler, and that's how we're trying to get stock at the minute. We physically have to go on to like our friends and be like, hey, do you have any of this, or this that you can't sell? We'll take it. And that's how we do it. And even for like getting packs at the minute, we have to like break products. So you have to go in, you have to break like an old V box or EX box just to get the packs to sell the packs. So it's quite rough. But I do think that people will always be able to find ETBs within sort of the first 2 to 3 weeks. And then after that, you won't really see ETBs. The problem is with ETBs, obviously with the plastic and the dice and all that there, manufacturing ETBs takes a lot of effort, and that's why they just don't tend to reprint them.
There's a lot of
the new plastic that they have for the latest ETBs as well. So brand new layout, like it's not the cardboard insert anymore.
No, so, that's it. So ETBs, there's only ever normally like one print run off nowadays, just because there isn't time to manufacture more.
Yeah, that makes sense. Yeah, there's so much in it. Great, so we're in for a grim year. Thanks for that, Adam.
I mean, hey, the good news is one of the sets is apparently terrible. Like, everyone hates Perfect Order so far. Like,
I think it's going to be a great set.
Of course.
So yeah, I did want to ask about the shop, because you set up a second location. I can't remember how long ago you did it. I remember following the. Was that all? I feel like it was.
It was like 3 months now, 3-4 months.
Jeez, time. I felt like it was much longer. But so yeah, what was the plan? What was where did that come from? What was the idea? Because you already had a big singles display in store. Am I right? Like
So I remember when you got the cabinets, I was like, those things are just beautiful and they're massive.
They're great, so they are. Originally we sold singles in the main shop. We built big, massive wooden cabinets, and then I was like, these suck. Let's buy something nicer. We also had the issues where our shop is. There's a big glass window. Sun comes through, can sun damage stuff, and we're like, yeah, let's not do this. So we bought metal display cabinets like you see in Japan, imported those over, and then about a year ago, I decided it would be a great idea to buy a sorting machine for cards. So I bought a Fizzbatch 9000. So for anyone who doesn't know, a Fizzbatch is a machine that you load sort of 1,000, 2,000 cards into at a time, and then it pulls them in, uses image recognition software, and then sorts them however you want. So you can sort by set, by color, by type, alphabetical, and it does about 1,000 cards an hour. And then it also produces you a CSV file, which has price data for card market. So you can then just import all that information onto TCG portals, hit the auto price, and then you auto price however you want to price, and then upload all the cards. So at the minute, I think we're sitting on about 60,000 cards on Card Market for Magic the Gathering. And unfortunately, whenever we're able to process, so the machine can process about 10,000 cards a day on a good day. Like whenever we're able to clean it out, get stuff into it, we can go about 10,000 cards. So we needed more space because my bedroom ran out of space. There's only so many 4 rows you can put in a room. So at the time, I was looking about and I was like, right, I need another warehouse. It needs to be dry. It can't be humid because all these things work hard.
Bend, yeah.
Yeah, exactly. And even still, like the cardboard quality nowadays is terrible, so everything works so quickly anyway. So we found a unit, and I was like, this is a big space. I don't need all of this for an office. Why don't I just put up a wall and make it into a card shop in the front? And that's basically what we did. And set up a singles card shop down the road from the main shop. And again, the whole idea was they're close enough so that I didn't have an office in the old shop. I have a real problem with buying too much stock. So my office, I ripped the desk out, put in some Billy bookshelves, and was like, this is now an additional model section. And I didn't have an office anymore, so I needed another office just so I can like respond to emails, do a lot of work. Otherwise, I work from home, and I have like on my desk, my PlayStation's here, my gaming PC's here, Switch is here, I have 2 monitors. I start doing work, 5 minutes later, I'm playing a video game, and then nothing's done. So I need to not be in the house. It's too easy to go back to bed. It's next door. So yeah, I needed to get that space, and it's been fantastic. It was a really, really positive experience. It also means that I've been meaning to do it for a while. We're trying to separate the business into 3 distinctive categories, which is in-store, online, and singles. Those are the 3 identified sort of areas that we're doing.
Right.
And by having a single store, it means we have a go-to place of work for staff members to come in. They can sort out cards, any queries and questions, they can go there. We have all the singles there. There's over 300,000 cards in that singles shop now. We have a huge inventory. We have everything has been cataloged. Everything's there. We know where it is. And now we're pushing into a lot more automation. So we've started working with a guy called Brian, who used to be Floridian Forest on eBay. A lot of people would know him. And he's developed a buy list. So this buy list, you can go on, you sign up for an account, you go on there, it pulls data from Card Market every single day. All we do is enter in our buy percentage, and then you fill it out. It gives you the prices of what we pay. You can send the cards to us. We accept the list or edit it and send you back what we would pay on it. If you're happy with the prices, you send it to us. We pay you. Simple as that. So we're looking into a lot more automation because all these things take so much time to do. Like what people don't realize is like listing cards on eBay, you're doing like maybe 100 an hour, 1 a minute if you're really quick.
Yeah.
So it's about how do we reduce the time to do all that stuff, with then freeing us up to do other bits and pieces. So the single shop's quite an exciting project at the minute. The Fizz batch has been, pardon me, a game changer, but it only does standard size cards. So we can only do Magic, Pokemon. We could never do Yu-Gi-Oh on it. It still has to be done manually. Yeah, so it sort of sucks a wee bit. But in the single shop as well, in the rear room that we haven't really showed anyone, there's a big room that we're now turning into a streaming studio. So we run card game events every weekend. So what we're going to start doing with it as well is more like vlogs, more YouTube video content. Again, we're going to really start that up again. We're doing Whatnot and TikTok for a lot of singles because our big problem is we have so much infantry now, and you need to move it a lot faster. So TikTok's a good way of doing that, just fire selling stuff. And then what it will also allow us to do is on weekends, people can come up, we'll send people up for a feature match. We'll record the gameplay. We have a nice setup in there now. And then we'll upload those matches and the replays onto YouTube and stuff and just generate additional content. And very much try and merge into a one-stop shop for content, for products and stuff. And then as online grows up again, allow us to sort of explode a wee bit.
Well, yeah, that's a lot going on.
Did you say 300,000 cards?
Yeah. There's about 300,000 cards. It's insane. It's a lot. So it is.
Yeah.
But like a lot of it is just a lot of people will sell you their EXs and stuff all day long.
I was just going to ask, like, is that all bought in from customers? Is that?
Yeah. We don't rip anything anymore, so we wouldn't rip sale product. So we don't open any booster products anymore to get cards. So I tell all our customers as well, if you're opening packs and products, you're doing it because you enjoy opening packs or products. Don't do it because you want to try and get something good.
Yeah.
You're guaranteed to lose your money 80% of the time opening packs. It's just how it works. So it's quite cool. Like we just have a lot of customers coming in, wanting to sell their cards. They get the cash. It's quick and easy to go. But even as a store, that presents challenges of its own. So if you're paying people 70% cash, you have a 30% margin. With how volatile Pokemon is, that 30% margin can be a loss very quickly. So you just have to be very careful. And one of the big things that we found is £65 is sort of like what I call the pinnacle figure. So we sort of tend to find that people aren't willing to spend more than £65 on cards quickly or willingly. So we sort of found ourselves with a huge amount of sort of backlog of higher end cards. So at the minute we have like
Right.
15 151 Charizards, we have like 6 Umbreons, we have 7 Umbreons, we have like 3 Lovebirds now. So we have a lot of higher end singles that you obviously have to go to a card show, or if you put them online, then you get asked by everyone, can I please have pictures with this under 17 times microscope zoom with 16 different camera angles, 7 different lighting sources to make sure it's not like damaged on the corners. Is it centered perfectly with this grade 10? And you get all those types of questions. And that just adds so much additional admin work that you just don't have time for, unfortunately. It's just so busy. And then you also get a lot of people who come in wanting to sell cards, and they're like, here's my 4 folders of cards. And you're like, I can't value this up right now. If you come back maybe tomorrow, we'll give you a call. It's like, nope, I would like them valued now. And sure, I said, no, like, great. So now you have to like price all that stuff up, serve all the customers, dispatch all your online orders, and you're sort of sitting there like, I don't have enough hours in a day. Like, I don't pay myself enough to do this. This isn't good enough. But it's fantastic because, you know, so many people have been able to find us. We're able to help people out. But as I said, with coming back to sort of the 70% thing, it's such a small margin. And as a business, how do you stop that money leaving your business? Because once you give someone the cash, that's the money's now gone out of your business. The value's gone. So you have to obviously sell the stuff, and that's what you want to sell. But like if you look at CEX and their business models, it's all about giving people store credit, because then that means they're going to come back and spend in your shop. And what it tends to happen as well is people will then like offer 50%, 60% cash, 70%, 75% trade. And what that does as well is entices people to start buying those sort of cards that are above £65 because they're like, oh wait, I can get an extra tenner off that 151 sword. That's actually a lot cheaper. And then it encourages those higher purchases.
And just I meant to ask, the locations, are they like completely separate? Like, do you sell any singles in the original shop?
Yeah. So we actually bought in a massive collection about a week ago. It was like a £40,000 singles collection. And it was nuts. See some of the stuff in it. It was so nice. There's like Lovebirds in it. There is so many like XY promos, you know, like the Mew and all those things. It was just such a cool collection. And it's currently on sale in the main shop. And then what will happen is the single shop is its own entity. It's a 2-minute walk from the other shop. And we'll go down, we'll refill the cabinets, and you can go into the main shop, or you can come into the single shop and still buy singles. So I think we have 18 cabinets between the two shops now, filled with singles and slabs.
Are they counted as 2 separate businesses? Is that what you mean?
Yes, yeah. They're 2 completely separate businesses. So they are.
Are they both called NCG?
Yes, one is NCG Singles, and then one is NCG Northern Card Gaming.
Now I kind of don't want to visit because I'm afraid of what kind of money I'll spend.
Please, I need to pay the bills. And there's a fee to go to soon, so come, please spend. Keep us in business.
Jimmy, you can probably relate to the having to value the cards on the spot kind of thing.
Yeah, absolutely. Like people come up, like you said with the binders, people come up to the shows, and like you could have 10 people at the table, and someone drops a binder and says, "How much will you give me for that?" It's like, well, that's great. Let me go deal with these other 10 people first, and then it keeps coming back too quick. But like people will drop off binders at shows and come back to you. It's not too bad.
Yeah, one of the things that we're actually trying to develop as well is the software that we talked about. We're trying to develop an offline version of it. So at shows, you can just have a tablet sitting at your table, and people can just enter in the stuff that they want to sell to you, submit it, hand over the cards, you check them, you pay them, and off they go. So you can sort of speed that whole process up. And like as I said, it's something that we want to try and roll out for everyone. Like at the minute, it looks like the software is only going to be like £25 a month for people. So it just saves so much time as well. And it just means as well, if someone wants to sell you stuff, before this show even starts, they can send you the buy list, and they can turn up. It's like, hey, I submit the buy list.
Yeah,
here you go.
Yeah. I want to go up and see that machine.
Oh, the machine's insane. Like, it costs so much money. Like, it was ridiculous. it was so expensive. Like, looking back, I should not have bought it. Like, it was so expensive. I put myself I am, yeah. Like, it's been great. We're now hiring another staff member for the single shop, hopefully in the next week, and then bringing in additional staff members. So it's been very good. It's just the initial outlay for those machines is about £27,000. So it is quite a big purchase, but it's definitely worth it if you're doing that level of volume. The other problem with it, like finding that level of cards, like it's not a pretty job. Like, who has 100,000 cards sitting about in their garage to sell in bulk? To try and feed it to keep it up, and it's such a challenge here in Northern Ireland, especially because we're such a small country.
If you're trying to pick up ones as well that are going to be good condition, like you said, like people keeping their garage, humidity, all that kind of stuff. You get cards in and like you take them out of the sleeve and it's literally like
don't agree. We had a customer drop in bulk and it was eaten by a dog, like literally. And half the cards were like fully chewed up by a dog, like the teeth mark were for it, and they're like, yeah, I can't accept this. And they're like, why, what's wrong with it? It's like, half the card isn't here. Like, what do you mean, what's wrong with it? It was so funny.
Yeah, looking at you going, it's probably mod play.
Yeah, it's definitely interesting, and I'm sure you find as well at the shows, like whenever someone comes up to you with like the card that they think is an absolute grail, and you take it out of the sleeve and you look at it and it's bent in half, and you're like, yeah, unfortunately this one isn't worth very much, and they're like, but it's £700 on eBay. What are you talking about? It's not worth very much. It's like that one's in really good condition. And sometimes that's such a sensitive topic to touch as well. It's like, how do you tell someone that this thing that they think is worth so much money is just not what they thought they had? Yeah.
You're breaking their heart.
Yeah, it's so rough.
Yeah, or telling them it's fake.
That's our
so many kids have fakes as well. Like, so many parents buy off Amazon, and then Amazon ship out the shiny fake sticker cards essentially, and it's wild.
I know.
Sorry, go on, Dave.
I was going to say I did it once. I was talking to actually, I don't know if Amber's in the chat, but a kid had a couple of cards in a binder that I met at the card show, and they come up with their dad and they were showing me their collection, and there was a couple of tag teams in there, and a couple of were definitely legit, but there was ones, and I was like, I cannot let them walk away thinking they might go and try and trade these or sell these. I can't not say something, and it was the worst moment of my life, having to be like, I hate to tell you, but I don't think these are official. I was trying to
trying to be nice.
So I imagine how many times you guys have to do it.
Yeah, but like those moments can be really cool as well. Like, someone brings in a fake card, or especially a kid, and you give them something instead.
Yeah.
Like, an EX for a lot of kids is everything. Like, they're like, oh, this is great. So many people just look at an EX and throw it in the corner. It's like, ugh, not this again. Like I post a meme where it's like, don't want to play with you anymore, and throw it in the bin. You're not messing around.
Take them off the market, like, get the fakes out, give them something that's actually going to kickstart their trade. Yeah,
exactly. So that's what it's all about. Like, we would do an awful lot of treasure hunts and stuff in and around our town.
Yes.
So what we do is a new set comes out, and it's great crack. So we go out and we take pictures of Pokemon. We have pictures of Pokemon laminated with a letter. We give everyone a treasure map. So this map has like Google markers in around the town. They have to go find the letters. And then we also hide Dittos. So like Ditto versions of Pokemon, they're fake clues. So they have to look out for like the fake Dittos as well, because that's a fake clue. And they have to unscramble the letters and put it into the name of Pokemon to win prizes. It's always good fun.
That's brilliant.
It's great crack. You see whenever the parents are out and they have no idea about Pokemon, and they're writing down all the Ditto letters, and it spells "you suck" or "ha ha" and stuff like this here. Like, and they're like, "Wait, what?" It's like, should have read the rules.
That's like, kids love that stuff. You know what I mean? When it's more than just playing and collecting, and you add stuff in, like a hunt or James has the mystery stuff at the shows and stuff where they pick out the ball. Like, kids just love the extra, the fun part of it. So when you can do things like that,
definitely, it just makes it so much better. Like, at the end of the day, that's why we're all here. Everyone enjoys it. Everyone remembers going and getting their first booster pack or having their first big pull, and that's why we're all sitting here as adults with adult money trying to buy kids cards. It brings back that small moment of happiness.
People keep saying this thing, I'm an adult with adult money. I don't have adult money. I don't know where people get that adult money from. I've still no money. I just quickly saw Shane in the chat saying that was them. Yeah, I felt awful. But I had to. I want to talk about the card show, but I forgot to ask. So the second location, the singles, so far, successful move?
Yeah, it's been very good. Like as I said, we just needed space,
Yeah.
and we were able to get an extra shop out of it. We were able to get more stuff out on display for people, so people can come in and have a chat with us, which is quite nice. Unfortunately, it's one of those ones where, like, looking back and reflecting on it, we feel like we're not doing as good as we could do because at the minute we don't have enough staff, so we're always in the back trying to pack orders.
Right.
So sometimes it feels like, you know, we don't have the time to be out chatting to people, and that's, you know, it sucks because that's what we're there to do at the end of the day. We're there to be a place where people can come, talk about something they enjoy, and have a bit of a laugh as well. So it's a good problem to have, but a problem that we're looking to fix very quickly. And even just in terms of like the service, we're looking at maybe like putting buzzers on cabinets as well, so people can just buzz us whenever they want to get cards out. Because there's always that awkward moment of like they're sitting there like
just standing
twiddling the thumbs, and they're like, "You need help?" And they're like, "Yes." And it's like, okay. You know, so it just takes that awkwardness out of it, and trying to find ways to make the experience much better for people.
Good. So success. Good.
Yes.
Right, let's talk card shows. You've got it's your second one coming up in March, isn't it?
Yes, it's the second card show. So we used to run before it was the extras. So extras were big, massive tournaments that we would put on. The card show is going to be the second one. This one we've dropped off all the events. We wanted to make more space for vendors. In the last year, there's been a huge boom on people wanting to start buying and selling, and we wanted to give people the opportunity to come and vend. You know, like everyone needs an opportunity to start a business. I was lucky enough that some good people gave me an opportunity. Like, I'm here now because my rent was cheap, and both my landlords that I've had have both been fantastic with me. So, you know, it's our responsibility to try and make sure others get that sort of experience or get that opportunity to go on and do the same, you know. And we kind of want to do that for, as I said, the card show, take away the events. We're going to probably push like £1,000 into marketing, ads and stuff, just to try and get it out to reach as many people as possible. We don't vend our own card show as well. So that was a really big thing for me. Like, you know, we're the organizer. We shouldn't probably vend your own card show if you're the organizer, in our opinion. It was just to make sure, you know, everyone has an equal chance. No one can say, hey, look, why do you guys have 20 tables? You know, like, you're there to be the facilitator and give everyone the chance.
I thought that because I was at the first one. And yeah, I think I remember looking to see if you guys were doing it, but you didn't actually do anything.
No, and we won't. This one we won't dealer. The only ever time that we will do a card show, like found our own card show, is if we put on something massive, something really, really big. So we looked at doing something really, really big, and you kind of need to just to recoup the costs. But at the minute, there's nothing sort of planned for that level yet. At the minute, it's still very much grow. I don't think that there's enough vendors personally at the minute in Northern Ireland and Ireland to sort of cover something huge up north. I think a lot of the vending scene would be very much people down south. Like, you guys have huge turnouts of vendors. Up north, we have a good Pokemon vending scene. And obviously, like, shout out to Jordan, who runs the weekly pop-up up in Belfast. He has a really good turnout. Those and the Lavery's card shows have been fantastic as well. And even Danny's card show that he put on there. There's good turnout those, but we don't really have much in terms of non-Pokemon vendors, which is quite difficult. You know, you want these card shows to be about everything. But no, that one's looking like it's going to be exciting. So I think there's like 17 or 18 applications in at the minute, and we have space for, I think, 40 or 50 tables. We'll have like minis to be painted. You can come down and play some board games. There'll be a play space and a trade space, and then we'll have like bring a card, trade a card type thing as well going on with a card wall. We'll have a few bits and pieces, and then there's food and drink and all that there stuff as well as normal. So it's always good crack. It's a day out.
See that you're gonna have food and drinks. That's a winner in my eyes.
Yes, burgers are always good. Burgers and hot dogs, always good. That's what it's about.
I was gonna say, and maybe Jimmy, you can weigh in this, because I spoke to a couple of the people who vended your first one, and they came up from the south, and the biggest issue was the currency exchange.
Yeah. Like, that's even a big issue that we have coming down to you guys. Like, our current payment provider, Square, is what we use for the shop. We can't accept payments down south. And in order for us to have a Square account, we have to set up a business in Ireland, set up an account in Ireland, have an Irish bank account for them to pay into it, and then I could take payments. So if I want to, I would have to like set up like a PayPal or a Settle reader, come down, and then it will appear in like euros, and then I'll get absolutely scammed on exchange rate. Because PayPal are absolute scam artists. Or you just have to like tell people, please pay cash or Revolut me or something like that there. So yeah, it's always going to be that way. Like your best thing is always just like Wise and Revolut and ask people for it. But the exchange rate is always rough.
Yeah, because I remember, and I saw TCG Sean, I think he was in the chat earlier, I don't know if he still is, but I remember, and he actually said the same thing on the last podcast. He happened to back me up on it as well, but he repriced everything like the night or two before, and he said he thought he was going to die. He said it was just the worst. But then I think there is workarounds. I think, I don't know who I was talking with, but they had the idea of, maybe just having a converter ready, keeping the prices as they are.
That was Ryan from YouTuber. He was at the Bray show with me. Yeah, literally like that. He just had the laptop open. Everything was still priced in pounds, but he just had the converter or his like Excel there, which the exchange on it.
Just do the
Just to have it to hand, like so yeah, like the sticker price is still pounds when he's down here.
Yeah.
And I'd say it would probably be the other way now. If I was to be going up north, I'd say I'd probably do the same. I'd probably have euro on stickers and
just have
some
some
conversion on it there. Like,
ready.
Yeah. Well, that's it as well. Like at card shows, people are always happy to pay that wee bit extra for it's right in front of them. They can get it as well. So like people don't tend to mind too much. So it's always a good chance as well to get cards that you don't really see. People pay for that convenience.
I haven't booked my tickets yet, but I just need to check dates. I plan to go. Because I know that it's going to be bigger this year, so I'll get more content out of it.
Yeah, it should be bigger, a lot more fenders this year. So the two halls will both be full fenders this year. So it should be a good one. It should be a really good one. We're
Is
looking
it
forward to it.
the same location? Well, obviously it is.
Yeah, same place. Just instead of the one hall as vendors, both halls will be vendors. So we have a lot more space for people to bring stuff, to get set up, to sell, trade, buy, do whatever you want. So we've also increased the limit. I think last year we had the ticket limit to about 500 because of the tournaments ongoing in the other hall. And we kind of wanted the experience to not be like clustered. Like one of our biggest gripes with going to a couple of card shows, especially some of the ones down south, were to even get near a table, you sort of felt like 700 people were pushing against you. And that's quite a negative experience. You kind of wanted it to sort of be, there's space for you to move, space for you to check. And even for vendors, it gives vendors a chance to actually talk to people as well. Like, hey, what's going on? Yes, I can prep this price for you now. What would you like? Do you want to trade against something? Whenever there's too many people, you like have to do the trade here, but also watch all your binders that are sitting over there so something doesn't get pinched. And then also, like, if you don't have the time, you just miss out on selling stuff to people and doing trades and doing buy-ins and stuff. So it's quite a difficult one. But then as well as an organizer, it's our responsibility to make sure we have enough people there. Like, you can't bring all these vendors to a show and be like, here's 660 people. Please make enough from these 60 people to make it worth your time. So
our tickets are on sale now, aren't they?
Yes, they are indeed. I think there's been 170 tickets sold so far already. So it's been really good for, I haven't really pushed it too much.
So I've still got time.
VIP pass,
I
think you have an early access ticket as well, don't you?
Yes, there's an early access ticket. So we only put 50 of those up. And again, that was just like, again, for early access. You can't want them to be premium. You don't want everyone to have early access because then it defeats the purpose of early access, So there's like only 50 early access tickets, and that's just to ensure that only a select few people can get in, have the early look, have a good chat around, maybe offload the stuff they want to offload before everyone else, before all the vendors run out of money as well. Like that can happen pretty quick these days. People want to sell that much stuff. So it's definitely going to be good. Like, I'm looking forward to it.
Every time there's a card show on, I look at the tickets and I'm like, oh, there's early access again, and I'm like, oh, I'm not going to bother. Like, I'm not worried about things selling out. And then Ron collects always texts me going, oh, I got my early access. Then I'm meeting with the card show and he's like, I'm done. You're after missing all this. And I'm like, why didn't I just get the early access? But yeah, no, I'm hoping I can get there. I just need to make sure dates align. But yeah, should be good because it was good last time, and you didn't have this amount of energy you're gonna have this time. So yeah, should be good. One other thing I wanted to ask, going a bit off the topic. You have a YouTube channel.
We did, yes.
Which I didn't realize until like a couple of days ago. I was like, sorry. I was doing a bit of research as a good host. And you have a YouTube channel? You're not like every day, but there's something recent a few months ago, right?
Yeah, we were talking like Pokemon packs is gambling and stuff like that there. But yeah, no, we used to use a lot of content online. So a lot of it was like Yu-Gi-Oh deck lists and talking about Yu-Gi-Oh meta and Pokemon meta and stuff like that side of it. And then we started a shop, so spare time sort of went out the window for video recording. But we're actually quite excited. This is why the single shop is so good. We now have a streaming studio being built in there. So we're going to be back on YouTube. We're going to have time to do like more podcasts, YouTube videos, TikTok, so their type of stuff, and then also match replays and discussions about stuff. So it's definitely exciting, and it's definitely something we want to get back on top of. And yeah, I think there's like still 2,000 subscribers. They're going to be in for a rude awakening whenever we stop just talking about Yu-Gi-Oh. Like, it's like unsubscribe. This isn't Yu-Gi-Oh anymore. What are these Pokemons? Like,
no, that's interesting. I'm looking forward to seeing how that works out. But yeah, I was like, when did these guys get a YouTube? Because I always try and find as many Irish YouTubers as I can, and there's not a handful. But my searching skills obviously aren't good because I come across you guys and I'm like, what? Trying to like look at some of the videos before I talk to you. I'm like, in this video you said. But yeah, I think then the only other thing, unless Jimmy, if you've got other questions, I'd like to start moving towards the future. Jimmy's looks like he's going to pull something out of a bag there.
I have stuff written down, but yeah, I think we actually covered most of it. I was saying about Genesis earlier and how that lifestyle is gone. Like, you were saying it's completely in the bin now. Yu-Gi-Oh's gone.
So like as a store, I don't think Yu-Gi-Oh is great anymore. So like for people who don't know, Yu-Gi-Oh, you're making like 5 pound a booster box as well. You know, there's so little money to be made there for stores, and Yu-Gi-Oh is the last few sets have been absolutely dreadful. So a lot of the stuff Yu-Gi-Oh that comes out, we buy for a price, and within a week or two you can buy it on eBay for like £20 cheaper than we buy it for. So that sort of tells you about the demand. Genesis was a great idea. So for anyone who doesn't know Yu-Gi-Oh, there is a ban list and cards don't rotate out. So cards that were printed at the very start, you can still use now in Yu-Gi-Oh. And what that causes is this huge power creep where the game gets more and more complex and the cards become more and more powerful. And Genesis was a new format that came out to limit the amount of powerful cards you can play in your deck by giving them a points total. So it was to try and make the game a wee bit more accessible. Our problem was Yu-Gi-Oh in the north. The communities were quite small around each shop, and Genesis as a format took that small community and fractured it into 2 smaller pieces. So it just sort of affects the community's viability long term, because what happens whenever I say come back to the thing I said at the start about anchor people, what if one of those anchor individuals decides they want to try a new card game? Because we're in the golden age of TCGs. Like there's One Piece, there's Gundam, there's Lorcana, Riftbound, there's Naruto coming out this year, there's Palmon TCG, there's My Little Ponies is coming out again this year. There's so many different like trading card games now that people can just go and try different things. So you know, it just means that all the games are at risk if you don't have a really good sized community.
Is Yu-Gi-Oh really doing that bad? Like, what about the playing community? I thought Yu-Gi-Oh was just, big in terms of playing still. No.
It depends where you go. Some communities will have large amounts, but for us, I personally don't have much of a Yu-Gi-Oh player base anymore. Like a couple of our big players. So, for example, there's a guy called Luke. Luke is an ex-Irish national champion or ex-Irish national champion. He's done very well at some YCS events and stuff. He is now playing Lorcana. Johnny Waters, who also was an Irish national champ, also moved from Yu-Gi-Oh to Lorcana. And a couple of other big players who are just made the jump over to different card games. So the player base is very much dwindled down. I think there was a regional recently, and for the first time ever, a regional had less than like 50 players. So, and that regional was made up of a lot of guys who traveled up from down south, who traveled from far away. Local scenes over here now up in the north anyway. I think the biggest locals is sort of up even further north, and they're getting about 15 people at max. The average attendance is probably about 48 people. 48, like it's not that big anymore, unfortunately. Again, Yu-Gi-Oh has the problem where there's nothing introducing people to the game anymore. There's no anime. Like we all grew up watching an anime on TV.
Yeah.
There's nothing really to bring people in. And as I said, like everyone just finds something else to go and enjoy. Like Pokemon has done such a good job in terms of its marketing, getting stuff in front of us all, constant release of games. So there's always something there to bring our attention back to it. Even One Piece is now like at the pinnacle. You know, we're about to end this ongoing anime that's been going on for years. So there's a lot of excitement around it as well. So there's just so much out there for the other games that are bringing attention to those games that it makes it very difficult for Yu-Gi-Oh to sort of survive and thrive in that space.
That's sad.
It is.
I played it when I was younger. I never played Pokemon when I was a kid, but I played Yu-Gi-Oh.
Yeah. So, but for the first time ever, you know, Konami have made a quite a drastic move, and for the first time ever, they're now releasing full art cards. So there's a couple of full art cards going to be released soon. There's a Dark Edition, there's a Blue Eyes, obviously. So there's two very iconic cards there, and that's probably going to get like a bit of excitement into the game again. So it should be good. But yeah, it's quite sad, as I said as well. Like Konami made this really poor decision. There's big tournaments, so as you said, Yu-Gi-Oh is a playing card game, so people play for prizes. Whenever the prizes aren't worth what the deck costs, so with Yu-Gi-Oh a meta deck normally it's like £300 to £500, but your prizes is a playmat and a deck box and maybe a booster box. Your playmat's like 20 quid, your deck box is like 25 quid, and then your booster box is like £60 RRP. So it sort of makes it very difficult to get your £500 cost to play this game back, and then your deck's going to get really bad because they have a ban list. So normally to encourage people to keep buying the new product, the good cards get banned or limited, which makes you need to buy a new deck to stay competitive.
Right.
So that cycle happens sort of like every 6-7 months, just to encourage you to keep buying into the next products. So it becomes quite an expensive cycle. And then they also reduce the amount of regionals that they get over here in Northern Ireland. So I think Northern Ireland now gets one regional a year. We used to get 3 or 4. So they replaced regionals with something called OTS Store Championships, which are just a Winamat. So, you know, it's
they don't do cash prizes at all in Yu-Gi-Oh.
No, Yu-Gi-Oh.
Yeah.
They
used to do cards where they were kind of, you know, special edition, like tournament prize only cards.
Yeah, so that's again OTS packs and stuff.
Yeah.
OTS packs took their place. But like, don't get me wrong, the people who play Yu-Gi-Oh are absolutely great. Like, that's what I grew up playing. It's what some of my best friends are from Yu-Gi-Oh. It's what we all played, and like Yu-Gi-Oh now especially has a lot of nostalgia. So people like to go back and play old formats. So there's like GOAT format. People are playing a lot of Edison. Yeah. So people are like to play the old sort of format because back in that time, at the minute, Yu-Gi-Oh was kind of like a gunfight. In that if you make a wrong move, you kind of die and you lose. Whereas back then, there was a wee bit more back and forth. If you misplayed or made a mistake, you didn't just lose the game instantly. You had a chance to get back into the game. So there's a wee bit more of a back and forth.
You mentioned One Piece.
Yes.
How's that looking?
Oh, don't even get me started. It's a nightmare. Like, can you just stop with everything being an investment? Like, go away. Stop it. Like, it's so annoying. Like, you make my life so hard. It's, again, it's a nightmare. So,
you lost it so much there, your camera lost focus.
It's, sorry, like,
so that's a man who's been hurt.
I have been hurt. It's mad. So we have a really good player base for One Piece up here. Again, incredible people. There's like 20 to 30 of them who come down and play. Lovely people. And now all of a sudden, like the cards that they used to like get readily and quickly and easily, with loads on the shelf there to restock, and again, sort of Pokemon from 2022, it's all gone. You don't see anymore. And Bandai don't tend to reprint stuff. So back at the very start of the game, they reprinted a lot of sets. So they printed like set 1, 2, and 3 again, and it killed the market. And then they did the same about 8, 9, in around that time. And again, it just butchered the market. And since then, they haven't really done any reprints of anything. So they do this limited time print run, and then they move on. And if anything needs printed to be played with again, they put it in a reprint set. So there's one called the Best Of, and then there's PRBs, which are sort of the reprint sets for One Piece. It's bad. It is really bad. More people are now buying it, so it's coming into the Pokemon situation where we as stores are getting less, and it's being spread out more, and it just creates so much frustration. 1, for people who play, 2, for collectors who actually do collect. Like take for example this today, or no, yesterday, the illustration box came out. This is a £24 box. It is on eBay right now for £50, and this product contains like 4 packs and a promo card. Someone in our One Piece chat sent in, there's a Rainbow Luffy card, and it's given out every single pre-release for free to build your deck, because you have a leader in One Piece to play around. So you put it down, it's your leader. It's nothing special. It has no value. You're literally giving them for free, and they're like auctioning them off and whatnot for like £12 a card. And it's like, guys, come on, like this isn't cool. This isn't okay. Stop it. Like, so it is crazy. Thankfully for players, so with One Piece, it's quite nice that the expensive cards aren't needed to be played with. Okay. They're just fancier arts. So you can still play the game similar to Pokemon, in that if you're a player, like you can still get like the lower rarity stuff for pennies. So that side of it's quite nice, but it just creates so much issues in terms of, you know, accessibility for product, being able to, as a shop, grow your community, and then it's just so much effort trying to distinguish. Okay, do you like One Piece? Are you buying this box to sell for like 25 quid profit? Can you tell me who this character is? Like, it's just so much extra. You know, it's quite a negative experience for everyone involved. And, you know, at the end of the day, we all just want to be able to walk into a shop and buy what we're trying to buy. Like, so it's a nightmare.
I think it's very fair what you're saying as well. Like, you're trying to make a connection with the customer by talking about the love of the game, and they're just there to buy it to resell.
Which,
so that's hard.
Yeah, and again, like, you know, you can't fix it just by printing more, because if you print more, then we'll have loads sitting on shelves that will never sell, and then we go out of business because we've spent all our money on product no one wants. So it's like you just can't win. But no, again, it's a difficult one to navigate. And the next set for One Piece is a heroine set. So, like, excuse my language, but it's like literally big titty anime girl set. And like that will be mad, absolutely insane. Like, people like their waifus, so you know, this set, and this set is based around the waifus of One Piece.
What's it called? Sorry, what's it called?
It's definitely not safe for work podcast. That one.
Are you seeing just Pokemon, the boom and scalping just happen? Is it just the exact same thing? Just One Piece is looking the exact same? Yeah, it
is. Like, so it's, again, you know, like, why is a product that has just released a day ago double the price on release?
And is that happening with just regular booster boxes with One Piece?
Yeah. So like with regular booster boxes, OP14, like booster boxes are like 120 RRP approximately. It's £5 a pack essentially now, and people are selling OP14 for like 300, 350 a box. Like that's just insanity. Like, actually crazy. And the problem is that's enough of an increase that will probably tempt people to be like, why would I sell at RRP? You know, like that's £210 a box that you can make on that. So it is crazy. But yeah, it's hopefully they do print more, because Bandai seemed to do this whenever demand picked up the first ever time. They printed so much they just killed demand for a few sets, so people were able to build the communities up again, and then now we have this situation. But Bandai print their own card game. They don't rely on sharing printers like some of the other card games do. So their only problem is they have like 6 different card games at this point, so they have to print all the cards for those games as well. So there just isn't going to be time to print it all.
Sad state of affairs.
It is, but you know, it brings more attention to the games as well. So like, after the fallout happens, the same with Pokemon, after the fallout happens, there's now just so many more people that are aware of the game. There's so many more people who are involved in the game, and they see out the crap times, so they'll hopefully get to enjoy something returning to somewhat of normality.
Yeah, like that's the thing. Like, and I can't really speak for One Piece because I don't know a thing, but so many people have come into Pokemon in the last 1 year. I mean, there's people I'm speaking to that I've made friends with that only started, 6 months ago. A lot of them are going to stay post boom. You know what I mean? So hopefully, that the ones who are in either Pokemon or One Piece for bad intentions, when they do leave, that even though there's an increase in people that are interested in, kind of, when you compare it to before the boom, hopefully we start seeing enough product that everybody can just go back to enjoying it. Because I can't wait till people that came in the last year, I can't wait till you guys see what it's like when there's stuff on the shelves. It's unbelievable.
Literally.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, that time isn't that fun.
Yeah, not anytime soon. I don't know if it'll be 2026.
I mean, it just depends. Like, there's a big gap. So obviously, Pokemon prints are 7 months in advance,
Yeah.
which means Perfect Order is already printed.
Yeah.
You'd like to assume that the reduction on Perfect Order is to allow for a larger print run of the 30th anniversary, and then we've nothing really after the 30th anniversary confirmed. No leaks, no suggestions. So you'd like to think that it might drop off a wee bit then, and gives us a wee bit of a reprint chance.
Yeah, hopefully.
No, so and also like next year they're starting up the new printing factory, so this year
Yeah.
they signed a deal on it. It takes about a year for that to get up and going. So you will see an increase of supply. Like, and what people don't know as well is like there's multiple factories already. So the main one is in the US, but there's also one in Belgium that prints. So there are 2 factories. Just Pokemon doesn't print in one language, so that factory also has to print cards in German, has to print cards in French. So a bit of the reprint time is being set aside for those.
So hopefully late 26, early 27, we start to see
I'd see a lot of Pokemon on the shelves.
the good days come back.
Okay, once.
Hopefully.
Yeah.
Hopefully.
Well, to be fair, like even if you look at now, like you can probably go into eBay and find Phantasmal Flame Journey Gallery ETBs for like 50, 60 quid. You know, it's not the dizzy heights of the £200. You can find Journey Gallery booster boxes for like 180.
I wouldn't pay it.
No,
I
and you shouldn't.
wouldn't pay
But
it. And regardless of whatever, whether it's a retailer selling it, whether it's just someone at a show, whether it's someone on Card Market, whether it's my friend, whoever it is, not that I think if they're selling it at current market price. If someone comes to me with a set that I love, Crown Zenith, more relevant set, Desk and Rivals, they come to me and they say, here's an ETB, market price is 100, I'll give it to you for 80, you're my friend. Not out of disrespect, I'm not paying that for a set that's not even a year old. I'm not paying it.
Yeah.
I'm not doing it. You know.
But yeah, but at least the point of, you know, if it's that much on eBay now, how much lower before people feel it's not worth their time
Yeah.
to sell? And once we sort of entering those sort of areas, then all of a sudden those people stop buying it, which means there's more on the shelf. So for example, with Phantasmal Flames, if you think about it, if you sell it on eBay, it's going to cost you what, like 5-6 quid to post it. So you're making £9 per ETB. Is that really worth the effort of going out, finding an ETB, buying it, packaging it up, and sending it? It's probably not. So at that point, people just stop bothering. And again, that's where we're at now with the whole One Piece. Everyone sort of jumped onto One Piece, or so it seems. So we might be seeing stock sooner rather than later.
Hopefully.
Fingers crossed.
If you've gone over to Scalp One Piece, stay there.
Later, yeah.
There's this really good game that you should scalp. It's called Metasu. I heard it's coming back for the 3rd time this year. Guaranteed to make games on it. It's going to be huge.
It's the next Logan Paul thing. Go get it.
I think it was already on it before.
We only give investment advice here.
Yeah, solid investment advice. I should put like a disclaimer down below. Please reach out to a financial advisor.
Don't buy that.
Disclaimer.
It's terrible, guys. It's died twice before. It's going
If
to die
you're
again.
scalping it, it's brilliant. Get it.
Oh, it's amazing.
If you're a genuine investor, do not. Look, we're 2 hours and 10 minutes. My goodness. Right. Well, I've got one more topic. Unless Jimmy, you've got anything else you want to swoop in?
I think I'm good.
Good. Can you give us an idea of? Because I think just general future plans, big plans. One I'm going to ask about specifically because I think you mentioned it, or I saw something online about another location, coffee shop, something. Was that you that I saw doing that?
Yes. So we had looked at setting up a model shop, so separating the Warhammer out and creating a wargaming center. So we wanted to do that, but that plan has kind of just fallen out now. We were unable to secure the unit, essentially. Our bid was unsuccessful, but we are looking at another shop in Northern Ireland. We're looking at an area where there currently isn't any shops.
Okay.
That will come sort of summertime. We went and had a look at the unit last week. It's a good unit. I liked it. It's like 5 minutes from where I'm moving to, so It means I can just roll out of bed and stumble in. So it's definitely one to look forward to. So we're looking at another shop potentially, but again, at the minute it's so difficult to get distribution accounts. That shop would sort of ride on being able to get distribution access, because why would you open a shop without being able to sell One Piece, Pokemon, two of the big sellers for a store? It makes it very, very difficult. Obviously, you then have to just try and get some wholesale stuff or split off stuff from your current shops,
Right.
which affects everyone negatively. But it's exciting. It's going to be good. What we are scaling up on is we have a big skip coming for our warehouse on Tuesday. So we're clearing out the skip, clearing out the warehouse, and then making it our new online hub. And then we're going to be bringing in a lot more staff to run the online side of the business and really give it its attention. So there's a lot more stuff to be going on there. At the minute, obviously, we have a very small team. There's only 5 of us across the 2 shops.
Really?
Yeah, there's only 5 of us, so we're a small team, but we're a really.
What are you doing? It sounds like you've a massive
Yeah, I thought
workforce.
you'd
But only 5.
Yeah.
We just don't sleep. It's like Santa's workshop. There's like 5 of us, and we just don't sleep, and we work all year round. It's kind of crazy. But yeah, there's a load of new staff coming in. We have a new staff member coming in for the single shop. We have 2 new staff members coming in for the main shop, and then some people going to be coming in for the online side as well, just to give us that or the workforce to really push on. So lots of exciting stuff coming for that side of it. So it should be good. And then, as I said, potentially another shop, which will be announced about summertime if it all goes well.
And then one down in the south of Ireland, yeah.
Here, no.
Not no Southern card game, no.
No, they're not. We actually made that joke as well ages ago. Like, this one's like definitely going to be Western card gaming. It's like far out west. But at the minute, I think the big problem is the sheer amount of stores there are across Northern Ireland. Like, there's so many new stores now that we need to wait till the communities grow to match that store increase.
Right.
Especially up here in the north. In the north, I think currently there's about 38 stores from top of Northern Ireland all the way down that sell like Pokemon, wargaming, and all sorts of other different bits and pieces. So there's a lot of us up in the north now. We have more stores than Birmingham. Like that's nuts, because we have the population of Birmingham, which is insane.
There is definitely so much more in the north than there is in the Republic.
There's a lot of stores in the north.
Yeah.
We're almost overpopulated with stores at this point. So all of them are.
The more the merrier. I want to be able to just go every day to somewhere and just
Well, at the minute you can. Like, if you play these games, I think we were working out like the other day, Lorcana, there's pretty much a locals every single day of the week. One Piece, there's going to be like a locals every single day of the week now. So if you want to play games, it's a fantastic time to be involved. But as I said, like, as stores, we have a responsibility now to grow the communities, because if you just keep opening more and more stores, everyone gets smaller and smaller pieces of pie, and that's just a war of attrition. Whoever runs out of money first closes, and that's not good for everyone. So, here, if you look at all the shops in Northern Ireland, it's all sort of down one side, and then there's nothing out to the other side. So there definitely is a need for something out the other side to give a community a chance to grow over there.
So then, on top of the potential third location, any other big plans you can share? Working on anything else? Anything else going on in the background? Nothing to get excited about? My online store is coming back. I'm excited for that.
Yeah, online's going to be big. So a big push online. We're pushing a lot of automation stuff. We're also in the process of developing our own sorting machine and sales platform. So we're wanting to create a card market-esque type software system, where people can come on, they can all the Warhammer and stuff. So it's not just trading cards, it'll be everything collectible, the card games, board games, manga, Warhammer, all that type of stuff as well. So just trying to create a platform that people can come on to and just sell whatever they want. It's something that we'd be very keen to see sort of happen, and then obviously develop additional software to make buying and selling cards a lot easier. So we have a lot of like back end boring stuff, but makes our job much easier and lets us do a lot more. Yeah, so automation is a big part of what we're sort of doing this year.
So you're working on like your own sales platform essentially for TCG and Warhammer and other collectibles as well? Yep.
So basically a sales platform which will be very similar to Card Market in terms of you have the product and everyone just lists the product underneath it. So that's the aim, to try and get that up off the ground.
I'm going to put something out there. If you want to take it, you can take it. But there's the collector app. We're waiting for the European version, the Irish version. There's a gap. Card Market haven't caught on yet. Someone Let me
So,
scan my cards into an app that's in euro.
Yeah.
The reason why that doesn't exist is Card Market's so strict with their API access. They just don't give it out to people.
Right.
Card Market is built and held together by like rubber bands and breadsticks in the background, and it's one customer visit away from sort of collapsing on the back end. It's a fantastic platform. It's just a bit dated now, so it's quite hard for them to update and add to it. But
Yeah, they keep patching it rather than rebuilding it. Yeah.
yeah, exactly. So we heard rumors that TCG Player is coming to the UK soon as well.
So I
So
heard.
that'll be, it'll be a big change for the market as well. If TCG Player comes, it'll probably shake things up a lot.
See that? I'm not going to get all UK versus Ireland type thing, but it's going to be just UK market though, isn't it? Whereas when you look at card market, you can get the whole European market. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Well, there's a really interesting contrast at the minute, like coming back to One Piece. If you look at One Piece cards on eBay compared to Card Market, the Card Market prices are like 3 weeks behind the UK eBay prices because, as you just said, it's the entire European market.
Yeah.
People aren't just going off like eBay, so it's quite nice that you can still get stuff there at a good price.
Well, work on that app for me, okay?
We're on it.
What's your collector version? NCG or throw an or at the end. Super, so good. We're excited about card shows. We're excited about possibly third shop. We're excited about software. Busy year coming up for NCG. Guys, I don't have much more questions. If you want to start throwing questions in the chat, I think I missed a couple of questions. If you want to start throwing your questions in the chat, feel free. Thank you for hanging on for 2 hours and 18 minutes. No, I do. Since the time I had discovered the website, I was like, oh my God, I have to go to that shop. And then different friends were like, we should plan a day and go to NCG. I'm like, yes, definitely. And then I never do. And I'm only like, because I'm in Donegal. So I need to. And then,
you need to wait.
What's that?
You definitely need to wait. You should wait. So occasionally it gets to the point where like I go to the warehouse and I can't walk down an aisle, and I'm like, you know what? I should probably put some old Pokemon out on the shelves, and wait for a social post that's being like, we've restocked the shelves. Make your pilgrimage then.
I've seen now and again you put up a picture, and I'm like, where are you getting some of this from? I know people often sell you in stuff as well, but yeah, maybe I need to time it. And just start
wait for the social. Wait for this social media post where it's being like restocked and come up. At the minute is horrendous. Like I think we have 2 EX boxes sitting on the shelf, no ETBs in sight, and then some tins, triple blisters, and then just loose packs. Like it is so difficult to get anything now.
I'll take them.
We have like Cynthia's Garchomp boxes, and what's the other one? There's the Garchomp box, and then there's the volleyball box. Box with those.
I went out and I was like, I haven't done a pack opening video in a while. So I went out into Letterkenny and I went into Derry. And there's a couple of card shops in Derry. There's Puka Puka Games, there's Angry Cherry, then there's Smith's, then there's Game, there's Argos. And I was like, if I can get a collection box, a couple of packs, all I could find was Journey Together and Surgeon Stark singles. I couldn't find anything else. Nothing.
Yeah.
I was like, this is killing me. Like, I can't just go out and just grab a box or two and open packs. It's killing me.
Yeah.
Killing me. But
I picked up Surgeon Sparks today, actually, from Eason's.
Did you open them?
No, I'm gonna split the box into the mystery packs.
Good idea.
Nice.
Good idea. I think there was a couple of questions. As I said, guys, now's your chance to throw in a couple of questions. See if I can grab one or two. I'm not going to start scrolling all the way back. Maiden card show in May. Yeah, that's in Derry actually as well. My baby's due end of May, so I've got to be careful. All right, I'm going to bring this one up from Andrew, my best friend. So I lived in Vancouver from 2018 to 2020, right? And Andrew's my best friend, came over to visit, and I lived beside a Toys R Us. And he came over, and this was Hidden Fates time. Now, he still has a picture. There's no way for me to get it up on the stream, but he has a picture of the shelves in Toys R Us. And when he shows people now, it's just disgusting to look at. Just special collection boxes of Hidden Fates, whatever sets were either side of it, just everywhere. And I wasn't into Pokemon at the time. I had no idea. Now I did. I'll tell you a funny story. He was like, I loved Pokemon obviously as a kid. I still played the games, so I knew the Pokemon. Like I was still playing an emulator of Silver once a year. But he was like telling you, just buy one. This Hidden Fate stuff, people are going to love this. So I bought a pin collection. I think I had 2 or 3 packs in it. And I sold it back to him 3 years later for like $150. And then I was like, look, at least you'll have it. You know, you'll be able to keep that. He ripped it on the spot and got nothing.
Oh no!
All right, he sent it to me on WhatsApp. I'll see if I can show you there because it's sick.
Oh, gee.
That's insane.
Look at that.
That's wild.
There's like Tapu Koko EX boxes. I can't see what them pin collection boxes are. It loses focus if I go in.
Yeah.
That's insane.
I think that's Cosmic Eclipse there in the middle. Am I right?
Yep. Crazy.
Unbelievable. But
it shows the Pokemon is so cycle. Like there's always a cycle. Like it always goes through that period where there's just always loads of stuff. Then there's no stuff. Then there's loads of stuff. Then there's no stuff. Then there's always stuff. Then there's no stuff. There's no in between. If there's just the right amount, you can go in and buy.
There's like this is the second boom because there was the Logan Paul boom. And
but have you noticed that everything vintage this time hasn't really moved much? It's all modern now. Like everything vintage hasn't really boomed much.
Yeah. What? Because I noticed that. What is it like? Because I don't think there's much more room for vintage to go up because everybody's coming in now. It's always a race to the new set. It's FOMO, and they know that scalpers are coming in because I think Prismatic did a lot of damage. But you're right. Yeah, vintage doesn't tend to budge too much right now.
Yeah, it's so weird. Like you're seeing vintage cards, like for example, like the Gyarados from years ago, the Shining one, the Red Gyarados in the Lake, like.
Yeah.
It being like a free £400 card, and you're seeing like the Charizard from Phantasmal Flames being like free £400 card as well, and you're like, one of these is not like the other.
Yeah,
like it's a stunning card, but it's just out.
Yeah.
One of these is older than half the kids that play in my shop.
Oh, that's weird. That's crazy. Do you have a Magikarp and Wailord tag team, and do you take bulk?
Is it the normal one or the full art one?
Ron?
We do take bulk, but at the minute we have about a 50,000 card backlog. Someone left in a huge Magic collection, and we can only do about like 8,000 cards a day at the minute just because of orders and stuff. And we are ran out of 4-roos, so I need to wait for more 4-roos. But yeah. Well, we do again bulk rates online. I think it's on our App X, which is the Wii online platform. I think it's like a penny a card,
right? For
Pokemon, and then half a penny for trainers, and then like 35p for bulk EX fees and stuff like that there. So,
alt art, Magikarp.
I don't know. I can check. Drop us a message on our Facebook page, NCG Singles. It's a good place to check. I can check our stock tomorrow whenever I'm in.
There you go, Ron. You're supposed to be on the podcast, but as I said, I think he has romantic duties. Right, I think there was 1 or 2 others there. This might be something you boys can answer. This came up when you were talking about Yu-Gi-Oh.
Mm-hmm. They didn't. It just sucked.
It just sucked.
Yeah, well, I don't even think it did. So they kept doing anime right through till Sexel, and then it sucked like really badly because you know, Yu-Gi-Oh was all about like them playing the game, and all of a sudden, anime Yu-Gi-Oh became like real life Yu-Gi-Oh, where the turns took 17 episodes, and they're only halfway through the combo, and people were like, "This isn't fun to watch." Him do 17 steps to make like a Stardust Dragon, or I think it was like Warlord at the time. So it just became unenjoyable to watch. They are now doing, which is really cool, some shorts of the cards. So I think at the minute they're doing like a whole Dogmatica shorts on YouTube. So they are trying to get more animated content out there. At the minute, actually, I can tell you what, I think they just released like last month a Tri Brigade short, a bit about like the lore of the actual cards itself instead of focusing on the characters that play the game, which is a really cool way of going about it.
They do that with Master Duel, where you can do the campaign as it is. It's like a comic book. Yeah, you're kind of reading through the lore of the cards and where Sky Striker started from, and you know, that kind of thing. Yeah. It's good on that side, but it's like that. It's not on TV. That's, you know, it's not like we can go watch it now. Like, what if is Exel still going? Is it?
Yeah, I think it's Rush Duel now, so I don't think we got it over here. I think the audience for it was very much more a Japanese thing. But they are trying to put stuff out. But it's definitely difficult. I think it is a really cool way that they're doing it. But like, so for example, Yu-Gi-Oh, you know, it's so nostalgia based. Everyone knows Blue Eyes, everyone knows Dark Condition, everyone knows those characters. So I think by trying to get people invested in the story behind the decks is a good way to maybe try to get people invested in the game and collecting it. It's a really cool way of doing it. But like the original Yu-Gi-Oh anime was so wacky, like so wacky, like
was crazy.
yeah, it was so crazy. Like looking back on it, and you're like, can you tax the moon? Like,
exactly.
It's so funny.
Got a couple of people with their shillings worth on Yu-Gi-Oh.
Yeah. I mean, when Bakura summoned Man-Eater in, you know, and it actually killed someone, I was like, okay, this is...
Yeah, that's a bit dark, you know?
It's a bit dark for me now.
Somebody was getting killed.
You know, Seto standing up there, you know, tempting or saying that he's going to commit by jumping off the castle. You know, maybe a bit far, you know. We all like winning, but come on, Seto, you don't have to go that far.
Yeah.
Oh dear.
Yes, it's so funny, like.
Yeah, Yu-Gi-Oh! It was strange for me so for me, I didn't really watch Yu-Gi-Oh, but I watched Pokemon obsessively. But I played the Yu-Gi-Oh card game and played the Pokemon Game Boy games. So it was like a weird mix. I don't know why I never associated too much with the Pokemon TCG. I think I had one or two friends that were playing Yu-Gi-Oh, and so I was just influenced by them. But I used to love playing Yu-Gi-Oh.
It used to be fun.
It was, as I said, it was like a back and forth. It was enjoyable. Everyone has their favorite deck. What was so nice about it as well was, you know, you can play with whatever you want. The cards that you had 10 years ago, you could still play in 5 years' time.
Yeah.
So like that was always nice. Like you wouldn't have fun playing because you just get beat, but you could still play with them. You know, you could get body.
Because
the best part is drawing the cards, then it's gone. Like, you know.
Like I do see, because some of my shorts and reels that come up, there's some of them are Yu-Gi-Oh related, and I see like little skits where someone does like playing Yu-Gi-Oh in 2005, and it's what I remember, and then it's like playing Yu-Gi-Oh in 2025. Someone goes first, draws and moves like 100 cards, and then the game's nearly over. Crazy stuff like that. I'm like, what? Is that really what it's like? Is it gotten to that?
Kind of. So at the minute, Yu-Gi-Oh is very much you make omni negates. So it's a big problem Yu-Gi-Oh has was you go first. You can play one of two ways. You go first and you make a big board, and then you're basically saying break my board. So your opponent has one of two options. They play all the board breakers, which are cards like Dark Will No More, and just cards that basically clear the board. Or you play cards like Nibiru and hand traps to try and stop your opponent. But the problem is now you have to have like 3 to 4 hand traps to stop combos. At that point, you're left with like 2 cards. So then you have to hope that your 2 cards are enough to make a board, and they don't have the hand traps. Otherwise, you just die. So it's difficult, but the level of skill that's needed to know what to do when and when's the most optimal time to use cards is so high now that there's so little room for error. I think a good sign that a card game has a really good skill gap is whenever you see the same players sort of top events over a period of time. So like you see the same player like doing really well at high levels across a number of events. It just sort of tells you that these guys are pretty damn good at this, or they know what to do.
They put the work in.
Yeah. It's crazy, like.
Oh yeah, I saw this one. Did you say there was a card show in Derry soon? Yeah, there's one. If you look for Danny Tag Collects, or I can just pop it up on the thing.
Is it the Maiden City show?
Maiden City, Maiden Card Show, yeah, in May. I think that could be the first one to ever happen in Derry, which is good for me because it's just right around the corner. So yeah, there's that one. If Derry is your area.
Derry's got a lot recently, to be fair. Just got a Games Workshop recently as well. So, it's obviously an area that people are starting to look at and be like, you know what, this is a good place to be.
Yeah, there is a good. There's more places coming up there. Yeah, there was because I'm kind of close to Letterkenny as well.
Yes,
there used to be a TCG store there.
We did.
Yeah, Endgame
Collectibles. Yep. He ran his Yu-Gi-Oh regionals in the hotel near it.
Oh, did
remember
he?
that? Yeah, it was good crack. I remember going up, and then me and Callum were wrecked because it takes like ages to drive back. So we were like, the event ended like 9:00, and I was like, right, okay, we've been up since like 6 to drive up to get there in time to set up to sell the cards, and then went to McDonald's after. They messed up my order, so like I always get like a quarter pounder with no cheese, and they always put cheese on it because it's just what happens. So like I had to sit and wait for ages for them to make my quarter pounder with no cheese for them to give it to someone else and give me one with cheese. Then you have to walk in and be like, hey, no cheese. And yeah, it was a nightmare. We didn't get home until like 1, 2 in the morning. And Callum's just there like, I'll just eat the bloody cheese. Like, fuck me. Like, what's the issue with you? You don't want the cheese, Callum? Go on.
For you anyway.
Yeah, it was wild.
You're not letting that one go anyway.
No, never.
Not a question, but Shane and Amber just put out the last few packs to my box break. Thank you guys, appreciate it. I'm gonna pull you something good, Amber. Jimmy, you're useless and too lazy. I don't appreciate it.
Yeah, that's it. Going again for another one. I'll just open packs along with you.
Guys, I think we are coming to our sweet end. I don't know what that means. That's what I was gonna say. Yeah, I think we'll maybe call it there. What are we? 2.5 hours. I think we can call that a successful podcast. Yeah, do you guys have anything else to add or anything else to bring up before maybe we jump off then?
No, thanks very much for having me.
Listen, thanks for coming on. As I was telling you before the thing started, I was like, this guy's probably flat to the mat. I'd be looking to get a response. Yeah. So the fact that you were like, yeah, absolutely, I really appreciate Adam, honestly.
No, it's all good. As I said, like, normally as businesses get bigger, people sort of assume we're big scary entities that want to like take all your customers and not talk to anyone and make loads of money, but it's not what we're about. Like, our door's always open. People want to chat to us. We're always here to have a chat and offer whatever advice we can. Like, I made a lot of mistakes to get to where we are. I didn't eat a lot of dinner a lot of time because I was so broke. So if you're able to help others out, go for it. Why not?
Love it. Well, I do. I appreciate you coming on. This was a great conversation. It's good to be able to hear different stories and learn, because I've learned a lot of things already from this conversation. So one thing that you caught me with was that cycle of wanting people to buy the sealed products, to open them, and then come back into you, but you need them to be local to do that. Never even thought of that.
Yeah, it's definitely a big part of, like local card economy. If you think about even card shows, all these card shows that are popping up, vendors only have so many cards, and we need people opening packs to then sell them to the vendors. So then the vendors have stuff to sell to the people at the next card show. Yeah. And if everything's being like bought up and put into a sale collection, there aren't singles to sell, and then it all sort of dries up and people are sort of left with the same stuff they had before.
I always say to people, anytime they like play mystery ball, like all it is they're getting a pack anyway, they're guaranteed a pack. And I always say to them, it's like, rip it, pull something good, come back and sell it to me.
Yeah, this is it, trade it in for something that you actually want as well. So everyone wins that way.
Yeah.
See, what people don't realize is I'm doing all these podcasts and I'm just taking everybody's ideas. So
yeah, that's
I can go off after episode 50 and just take over the whole thing. I wouldn't have the brains or
Feel free.
patience to do
I'm
that.
tired by then, so go for
That's it. Buy me out.
it, please.
Please.
And then the market will crash and I'll just have millions of euros worth of products and no one to sell it to. Perfect. Jimmy, thank you for Jimmy's first co-host episode, by the way. Round of applause. Thank
you very much for having me.
Bit of a sketchy audio start, but we got there.
Yeah, we get there.
Once your YouTube ad revenue comes in, you can get him a nice fancy mic and a nice fancy camera.
He's requested so much off me already. No, Jimmy, I appreciate you coming on. Adam, again, thank you so much. Great conversation. Thank you to everybody in the chat who was active, asked questions. Appreciate it. We'll leave it there. So, perfect. All right, guys, have a good night.
Thank you. Have a good one, guys.